and welcome back to Scav Talk, everyone. Today's episode, we're going to be doing our usual Tarkov discussion as the Season 1 Court Breach continues. We'll be discussing Tarkov TV, doing a brief recap, perk discussions, Fragmentary order teaser, Season 1 feedback, and then at the end we'll close out with a Wardogs pre-order playtest.
Okie dokie, it has been 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I actually had quite a few people coming being like, when's the next cast? Come please, come please. I'm just like, it is entirely my fault because we were going to record and you were ready to record and I was like, oh, I'm just catching up from the LAN and everything's crazy and it's just I've got too much to do. So I did go to the annual Giga LAN.
Is that the official name, the YouTube sponsored?
Well, no. It's called the Epic Lux LAN.
Oh, okay.
So it's part of Lux LAN. There's a part of Epic LAN. There were two groups. Actually, I'm not even sure what's happened. There was one called Insomnia we used to go to years ago, which is like the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one called Epic LAN, which was always slightly smaller, but I believe it was just genuinely better run. But we actually never went to that. We went to the other one. The other one had got sold multiple times. Well, at least the company got sold multiple times. Like it stopped, it's restarted. I think COVID caused some real issues with the other one, the Insomnia series. And we used to go to that like a long time ago, but it kind of just it was just huge, and we didn't want to sit with 500 sweaty CS players, so we kind of stopped going. But this one's I think I probably said last year when I went to it, but it's just it's much smaller. It's 150 people. It's the same people who go every year. Everybody is at least 30. Not that there's a requirement, but it's just the way it is. Because what they do is they book out this conference center out in the middle of nowhere, basically just off a roundabout. One of those business sort of conference hotels.
Yeah.
And everybody gets a room and you get breakfast, so you just get to wander from the conference hall, and they just set up all the tables in there. They've got good networking, and you just set your PC up, and then so you just game in the day, and then have some food. You just order to the hotel or eat there if you really want to. We ended up eating we had Five Guys burger 2 nights in a row, which was actually a solid win. And so we had that, and then literally just game into the night, and then just stumble back to your bed, which is round the corner down the corridor.
Yeah,
so it's really nice. And then wake up in the morning for proper breakfast. So it's just a really nice thing, and it's good. It's just a good way for all of us lot, because this is my school. This is secondary schools, we call it, high school friends. So we've known each other since we were 13-ish, and we all connected over gaming in the first place. And it's just a good time while we're all busy with kids, jobs, travel, whatever else, to book 4 days off and just go and just be together. And you spend half the time just chatting shit and whatever else. So it's just a good time. It's a good time. So yeah, that took up. It was an awkward time because it was right off the back of the wipe. So the wipe was the 27th or something. So we had a week and a bit. Oh no, the 3rd. So we had a week and a half, and then I went straight from that. I was I'm in a lobster to buttery moment where it's just oh no, I've just spent the last 10 days gaming, and now I've got to spend another 4 days gaming.
Oh no,
my life is so hard, yeah. But I was yeah, would have been nice to have a bit of a gap. But I mean, I can't complain given that it didn't come over the top of it like it usually does.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of put me on the bit of the back foot. So I got to Monday, and I was I hadn't actually unpacked my PC because I got back relatively late, and I was spending a bit of time with the family and stuff. I was so Monday morning I was just unpacking, and then I was trying to catch up stuff, and I've still got this sponsored thing going on, and so it's just there's just a lot happening. So that's why it took a bit of time, but it was a good time. It was a good time. Have you ever played Mecha Chameleon?
No.
It's a game that went viral and blew up, and it's just it's a friend slot party game.
Oh,
that's fine. And but it's great. It's basically the next advancement of prop hunt. The people used to film Gary's Mod on CS. It's a bit like that. You've probably seen clips of this thing.
Yeah.
Mecha Chameleon is really, really good, especially when you're just with a bunch of people. It's even better because we're there in the room with them, right? So it's you're a little man, and you effectively you kind of look like an unpainted little ceramic. Miniature is almost what you look like. And then you have to glue yourself to something, and then you get a full art palette, and you paint yourself onto the thing to camouflage yourself. And then some people are the hunters, and then they have to find you. It's very simple concept.
Yeah.
But it really leans heavily into kind of the community, because people have made maps with museums. There's levels out of Zelda, all sorts, anything you can imagine that's probably been made, the Simpsons house, all sorts of stuff. So the community maps for this thing are really good. And I would say it's probably got the worst UI that I've experienced in recent times. But the parts of it that matter actually work really well. So if you don't have a map, it'll say, you don't have this map. You click this button, and it opens up the Steam page. You just press subscribe, and then you go back to the game, and it just works. And that works seamlessly with groups of 10 people. which was like, whoa, that's actually good. The rest of it, I mean, the rest of the UI is absolutely atrocious. But I think it's made by two Japanese guys. Apparently, it means mecha. It means like super or like really in it means like super chameleon or something in Japanese.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of like Japanese characters and things in there. But it's really like it's really good fun as a group. So we played like quite a bit of that. We did the usual stuff, a little bit of like Counter Strike, like gun game and that kind of thing. But the Mecha Chameleon probably was the one that stood out to me as being most fun. I had not played it before the LAN either, and some of them are like it's just hilarious because I quite like how kind of flat it is. I feel like pretty much any gamer can enjoy it. Like you can like really
Yeah.
metagame it super hard, but also people who are more it's like my sister who's like we're all kind of good friends. I actually have a really good relationship with my sister, and so she was there as well, and she's the one who taught me how to use like Photoshop and everything in the first place. So she's like super good artist. And some of the stuff that she can do in this, because she was really specialized in digital art for a long time before she moved away from that career. And so some of the stuff that she does is just like absolutely inspired. It's like in the art gallery one, and she just like intuitively understands like the human eye and like hues and stuff like this. It's just like years of training that you just can't appreciate. So like the ones that I have to do are like a bit more straightforward, and you can be really tricky. So it's like I feel like it's very accessible for like lots of different people. If you're like more artistic, you can do some more other cool things. But there's other stuff you can do if you're kind of more strategic. It's like there's more depth to it than you. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a fun party game. But
yeah,
it was good. It was good. Yeah. I think it's cheap as well. It's like one of those ones. If you got a group of people and you're looking for something just to mess about with, it's certainly a good time. You'll get probably 5-10 hours at least out of it, and you probably go back to it. It never really gets old, so yeah, it's a good time. Yes. So all is all good fun, all good fun. In the meanwhile, we've had Tarkov TV, which was ages ago now. This is like genuinely a long time ago. I think I looked and I think it was like just after we casted last time, which is like kind of awkward. However, what I would say is that I didn't leap up to make a video about it, and I wasn't really desperate to talk about it on the podcast either because it was probably the most lackluster Tarkov TV we've had in ages. I would say, if you've been following along with development and with the process and with Nikita and with the patches and with all the stuff, you probably knew like 95% of what he'd said anyway. Like they spent the first like 45 minutes talking about seasonal and like showing the tutorial and stuff. It was like to be fair, they were having some technical difficulties, and Nikita couldn't pull up any of the videos and things, so they did a juice time thing. But it did feel really thin on the material.
Yeah,
on this particular one, I'm not even sure why they did it actually.
The one new thing they did do that I kind of liked, though it was kind of weird at parts, was they brought in a few team members. They haven't done that in a long time. And they had them talk about specific features or what they were working on at the time. And I think one of them spoke primarily Russian, if not pure Russian, and Nikita or somebody was translating. It was Dimitri or Nikita, I can't remember, but
I think Nikita was, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and probably the biggest thing we got out of that was information about the leagues, which is their sort of like ranking seasonal thing. It's kind of like the Arc Raiders rankings. I don't know. I've been pretty since I played a fair amount of free to play Tarkov clones made by Chinese devs for mobile devices. Been kind of like not so keen on like having ranked play, if you will, in my extraction shooter game, just because it's like guys, what are we doing? It's like you know what I mean? But that being said, the way it's described, it's like I don't know. I think it could work in the right setting. So I'm curious, what can you recall about the leagues as it's called?
Well, I can do one better than that actually, and there was a post by Nikita that he put up 17 hours ago about exactly this topic. So he posted a picture first off and said, Cord Breach Leagues, you will get this clothes with Conductor rank. And this is the one, there's like a whole bunch of different ranks, and there's one which is some crazy ranking thing. It looks like Wedge with 2 axes and some bizarre weirdness. And you get some clothes or whatever. But underneath that, he actually posted some information, some a bit more detail. So after your first raid, You will be placed into a group of 50 players within your rank. Your position in the group, the leaderboard, is determined by the amount of XP that you earn during the week. XP is earned in raids by eliminating PMCs, scouts, bosses, completing tasks, examining items, whatever. XP earned in arena will not count towards leagues. The more XP you earn, the higher you will rank in your group. At the end of each week, the top 25 players are promoted to the next rank, 15 remain their current rank, and 10 are demoted. In ranks 5 and 6, the top 20 players are promoted, 20 remain at the current rank, and 10 are demoted. The first time you reach a new rank, you will receive that rank's rewards. Rewards you have earned remain yours permanently, even if you're later demoted. So, this is interesting. I have like 2 things to say about this process. The first part about is the leagues itself, which I don't think is necessarily problematic, but I think the first response I could see underneath there from Trey saying, I hope Icebreaker doesn't count, haha, is probably the first thing that people would think. Because if it's done exclusively on XP, then you basically are just going to have to like mainline Icebreaker. And if you want to actually, top it out, you're just going to want to either mainline Icebreaker or Labyrinth probably to just max on XP, just because you just get so much more XP there than literally anywhere else. So I don't know. We will see. We'll see what happens with it. I mean, I don't know. It's because XP is like very unevenly distributed in EFT, and a lot of the time your goals aren't really aligned with getting max experience. Like, sure, you can go and do tasks and stuff to get XP, but
Sorry, I'm just.
Are you muted? Oh no, you're not. I thought you were.
I
muted
just
for
see
a
a lot of
like...
numbers and words, and I'm just like in ranks 5 and 6,
this
the
basically
top
just
20
says
players.
like, yeah.
Like what?
I don't even know how many ranks there are. I guess it's 7. I guess this is 7 because the picture has the 7th rank on it, which is the topmost rank, I think. Because I remember it being some crazy thing. So there must be 7 tiers, I suppose. What happens in tier 7 then? Because you can't go up. So I wonder how many people get demoted. And this is per week. So you're going to have to do it at least 7 weeks if you want to be in the top ranking.
Yeah, and
I don't know. We'll see.
It's kind of like a battle pass. It's like more free stuff, I guess.
I guess.
You don't have to do anything.
More things you can miss out on.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't have to really do anything necessarily. You know what I mean? You don't have to go out of your way, I guess, which is nice. And it's not like, strictly how many kills you get in a raid equals your rank, and now you're gonna get, ranked matchmaking or stuff. That's what I was like mostly afraid of. It's like,
yeah, I agree. I did see a post from TerraUwU who basically just said that, where he was like, yeah, I like the way they're doing this, even though I would have preferred it to be kind of around like PvP instead, but I can't think of a good way of doing this. It doesn't just mean people are just going to go like farm low levels and make the game experience even worse.
Yeah.
So this is probably the best like fair way of doing it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right, so the second part of this for me, and maybe I just need to change my mentality on it, but I don't know. I'm suddenly found myself in this situation, especially once I saw this announcement. And I was already talking about this on stream. And I think it's because I saw like the season 3 arena like teaser, which is supposedly coming in September. And I think I'm sort of at a point where I'm just like, man, like you just can't do all these things that Nikita wants you to do. Like you do actually genuinely have to be like, if you want to do all the stuff in Nikita's games, we're getting to the point where like you actually basically have to be a true believer. And people always say like, you got to treat the game like your job if you actually want to like, do well or whatever. People have said that forever. And that's sort of been true to some extent. Obviously, if you play more, you'll get more stuff and you'll be able to beat the games more. But I feel like there's always been time, like there's never a requirement to go and do this stuff. Like obviously there's achievements and things, but there's sort of like exclusive clothing unlocks that are there forevermore, but are never coming back. Has like ended up in this really weird spot where, to play EFT itself, well, you've got your hideouts. So you kind of have to go in there like fairly often for like a mobile game to begin with. And you've got your dailies, which you may or may not want to complete. You don't really have to do that. But then you've got the battle pass, which you kind of do want to do, because otherwise it's going to cost you like $150 to unlock the thing, which is kind of annoying. And you think, well, I kind of want to do it through normal play. But then you realize you can't really do it through normal gameplay because it doesn't coincide with any of the tasks that you've got. So you've got to go out of your way to go and farm the thing. And it's 10 times easier to do it on Scav than it is on PMC. So you're looking now down the barrel of the 15-minute Scav timer and you're just sat there like doing whatever. And then 15 minutes later, you do a Scav run. And then 15 minutes later, you do a Scav run. So that already starts to drive you slightly insane. And then you can't do that on like one free day off, because by the time you've got 30, I know they've increased the limit, but by the time you've got 30 documents, which is the best case scenario, by the way, on seasonal, you then can't find any more. You're not allowed to grind it even if you really wanted to. Okay, so that's already really annoying. Oh, but by the way, Season 3 Arena is around the corner. So if you haven't finished the Season 2 Battle Pass, all that stuff is going to become locked. So if you got halfway through and you haven't finished it yet, well, you've got to put some more time into that to do the dailies there to get the XP to finish that one off, because there's going to be a new Battle Pass and there's going to be a new like paid battle pass, like tactical map over there as well come September. Oh, but if you want to be involved in Nikita's new game, Fragmentary Order, then you've got to play the core mini game. That's got timers from 5 to 12 hours rotating so that you can actually make enough money to actually do the things you need to do in that game. And now, if you want to get these other things, you've now got to play Leagues, which basically involves you grinding Icebreaker because it's the only place you can get XP. I'm just like, come on, man! Like, what? I've got to like grind the Scav BP. I've got to play the actual. Like, when am I going to play the actual game? I feel like I've just got to just drop it all and just say F it. I don't actually care about any of the stuff, because I don't actually care about the cosmetics, but I feel the FOMO anyway. And I'm actually genuinely not surprised that people have just paid for the battle pass on main EFT, because people are just fed up of doing stuff that's just. I feel like I've sort of hit breaking point with this sort of mentality, and I've complained about it in a few places, and various people have said like, yeah, well, this is kind of the territory with EFT. This is kind of Nikita's idea of whatever. It's like he loves creating like busy work for his players to keep them like invested in his world, right?
Yeah.
Or they, or like cynicism saying, well, they make the battle pass really annoying, so that then you pay them to buy through it if you don't want to do it. Like so many people. I was surprised. So many people bought it literally the first week, or like really? Tried giving it a go and just went, oh, this sucks. Whatever. I'll just pay you £100 and something. It's just like, oh my god, like. I mean, he's got like, and I don't blame them. I kind of don't blame them, because it's like it's such a huge time sink to go and do it all. I think I worked it all out. Like I've actually got some good routes now. The main battle pass in EFT, I think there's 8 maps that you need to do. You can cover 6 maps with, because so there's 2 document types on each map. So you can across 3 maps you can cover 6 documents. But to get the last 2, you have to. There's no way of doing it with less than 5 maps overall, unless you're converting documents, which is a 5 to 1. So you've got to be farming them 5 times faster on one map than another to make it worthwhile. And with the Scav timer and with the daily limit, it just doesn't make sense. So you have to now have 5 routes minimum across 5 different maps. So I did try it, and I've got Factory, Ground Zero, and Lighthouse pretty much down. Admittedly Lighthouse, but I mean it's on Scav, so it's nowhere near as hard. And I think the maximum, the most the realistic one is it's almost like God, how many did I say it was in my head? I can't remember. It was like 3 minutes per document or something. I think it was like the best that I had. So I like scaled that up, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to take like 25 hours to do the whole thing, I think. So if some people have just paid £110 or whatever, it's just like, well, you're paying like £4 an hour. It's like you're better off working at McDonald's and just buying the battle pass than you are like doing the battle, because it's like,
so they
it's not
should increase
interesting
the
either.
prices of the battle pass.
Yeah, they should increase the prices. They should increase the price.
That's
So Nikita's break even pricing, where people probably like start tipping over the line, is what is it? So it'd be like 60 over. So it's like 3 minutes per document. So it's 20 documents an hour. So then it would have to be basically the break-even price. Just like, yeah, what's the like, what's minimum wage for an hour? Multiply that up by 25 hours, and that's the battle pass price. That's like the break-even threshold for Nikita. That's probably. Anyway, it's just like I was just looking at it, just being like, man, like if you could do it through normal play, and this is what I've said repeatedly about the arena one, you did the arena one through playing the other stuff, like the actual tactical map. This is the TAC map, so the TAC map is done really, really well. And I praised it back then, right? They said it was really good, because rather than it being like, I have to go and do this completely different game, effectively, like this, because running Scab and finding documents is a completely separate game from like questing PMCs, doing, or looting stuff. It's really like very, very different, because you have to go to very specific places. You have to have the map up, because it's like some of them are like excruciating, like difficult to find. And so it's like, well, with the arena one, it's like, well, I can just do the things I was going to do anyway, but I will just tilt it into the stuff that the battle pass is asking of me. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, well, you can get machine gun kills, or I need shotgun kills for the next one. Fine, I'll play Enforcer, or I'll roll my daily into something that has Enforcer, so they overlap, whatever. Whereas in this, it's just like there's no way of doing it other than just like, yeah, you can run it on PMC, but then you're going to the arse end of nowhere half the time, like here, there, and the other place. Then you're just going to get shot in the head by some other player because you're early in the raid. It just forces you to play scav. It's like I just don't think it's well designed. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I have some feedback that's very similar to how your gripes feel, because I've kind of lost some motivation to play the wipe in general, just because like the battle pass portion, I took like a couple of days and I was like focusing on that, and I was just like, as you say, it's like really boring to you because you do the scav thing. Because yes, you can do it on your PMC, and like yes, you can put them in a secure container, but like the let me start off by saying I think it's a cool attempt. I like the idea, but in actual practice, it's not fun because when I'm playing the wipe, I want to like get levels, get XP, make progression, and survive raids. So having and like a lot of the quests for veteran players are like usually familiar. I mean, this wipe is a little different because they've added new ones, they've changed old ones, renamed them, took away stuff, but like you may already have the wiki up to see where you need to go to plant your markers because the thing doesn't tell you, right? It's just like, hey, it may not even tell you to bring a marker half the time. So you already have that. And you're trying to remember, if you're playing, like, God forbid, you're playing a map like Streets and you're not very familiar with the map, there's like 6 different streets that you don't know where you are. You're trying to navigate the map, and then suddenly they ask you, okay, so now don't forget about the battle pass where you have to play pixel hunt the mini game. And we're not gonna have any indication where the stuff is. Just like, yeah, they're on these maps, by the way. Just go out and find them. And like, it took me a while to find my first one on Woods, and it was like in the USEC shack on top of the Valiant Campus. I mean, that's a pretty obvious spot. But like some of these I see, like the one that I constantly reference is the one on Factory, where it's like the first floor, where there's like safe sat, and there's like you can jump out the window. There's like a pile of books and stuff, and there's like a little project tube roll thing, stuff down in there. I'm just like, in a million years with a million monkeys, I don't think we ever could have found that, because the floor itself is just like completely littered with books, trash, garbage, debris. It's dark, it's dingy. It's just like, you're never gonna see that. So the fact that someone like went around like, I'm just gonna put a random thing here. I mean, some of it does kind of make sense, but like putting the you think about trying to find this stuff naturally. Like you go into like the Terra Group buildings, or on Ground Zero, you go into like those like office buildings of Terra Group, and there's like a battle pass document, a med lab document inside the folders where there's like never been anything there in a million years. It's like, oh yeah, of course I'm supposed to check there now. It's just like, you have to playing pixel scan hunt the mini game during my Tarkov raid is not fun. It's stressful. That's not good. That's not a good thing. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm already stressed out as it is. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't need to play the stupid mini game. And then you get it, and it's like, okay, well, you got 1 out of like 7, and you have to go to 5 different other maps. It's like, oh my god, this is like, it's so tedious. Like when I was first doing it the first week, I got like 2, both on Woods.
Yeah.
Maybe like 3, because I hit my same spot, the USEC checkpoint. I think I got 1 on the mountain at the little bunker, and then 2 from the, just like, I think it was like 2 test documents, 1 user document. It's like, I can't unlock anything. And finally I caved, pulled up the wiki, and it's like, oh, this is so, I could just do scav and just like speed run the map and hit all these spots because, no one's dead. I mean, you can even sit AFK for like 10 minutes on scav if you got like a really long scav timer, just to like let all the PMCs clear out, and you can just speed run it. It's just like, and then you sit there at the waiting screen for 20 minutes. It's like, I guess you could alternate between scav and PMC, but like it's like 2 separate. I don't know. I don't like it. And as you say, it's having something that's like kind of like adds onto the raid slightly instead of like its own separate entity, because you feel like you have to focus one or the other. And the other sort of tangentially related topic to this, or subtopic, is questing this wipe has felt kind of weird due to the trader rework and the questing progression, because I've noticed that it used to be it seems like they want you to prioritize traders now, because the actual level requirement seems kind of lower, especially early on. But the
Yeah.
way they do the reps, you got like the tier 1 reps, the tier 2 reps, and to get the tier 2 reps, you got to unlock the tier 2 trader. And once you get the tier 2 trader, the tier 2 whips pay out like 3x more, 4x, 5x more. It's like you go from 0.1 to 0.25,
I think.
yeah. And then from that 0.25 to like, what is it, 0.75?
0.75. I don't know the one after that.
So you're like heavily incentivized to do the ones that pay out more, which makes sense. But like, in typical Tarkov fashion, you go to a map, like when I'm deciding what I want to do for the day, I pull up my task and I'm like, okay, which one has the most tasks on the map that's like doable, not like bait tasks that I can't do. And then I do that, but it's like I'm hitting all these traders randomly. And there's been at least twice now where I look at my traders. I have the level requirements met, but I don't have the rep requirements for like multiple of them. And it's like due to the fact that the way that I'm going about this is like I'm doing the old method where you just like do the map, do as many tasks as you can reasonably do, and then get out and get a bunch of XP and trade a rep and like boom. Whereas now it doesn't really work out as well. Like it's odd because I've like consistently unlocked mechanic on the next tier. Like mechanic 2 was my first unlock, mechanic 3 is my first unlocked, and he's like one of the higher levels, which is just like weird how it's just naturally worked out like that. Like I still have skier 1 task. I don't even think I have skier 2 unlocked. I don't even remember. It's just like I don't know. It's weird how it's worked out, and that's kind of one of my issues. Is like when you do quests, you tend to do map first, not trader first. So I feel like having that, I don't know. There's something weird there where I'm like I'm not very satisfied with my like somehow the wipe feels less grindier and more grindier at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's weird. I think we are partly getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's for me the weird thing is the fact that once you've got to at least level 3 traders, the level 1 tasks feel completely pointless.
Yes.
So like they're in the list, but I'm like, do I really want 0.1 when I have to get from because of the way that they've scaled the ranks? It's like, okay, it was useful, but now it's not because I could either do a tier 3 task, and they are admittedly usually harder, not always, but usually harder.
Yeah, they do scale.
But I get like 0.75 rather than 0.1, and I need to get from 3 to 7 rep or something stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the tier 1 tasks feel useless. And then you've also got like whole series of tasks that we just used to do to get to whatever reward. And now they don't give you any trade rep whatsoever.
Yeah.
So all of these essential tasks like Punisher and like healthcare privacy and all of these ones, they don't give you any trade rep at all. So then you're like stuck doing the regular tasks, which actually it means that you end up getting you have like less tasks to do because you can't do Punisher and you can't do any of these other ones if you actually want to go up trade level, which is sort of where I'm stuck right now, especially with Jaeger. I don't know if you've progressed with Jaeger at all, but there's no point me doing Tarkov Shooter at the moment because that doesn't do anything. You can't do. There's another one as well, and some essential task that doesn't do anything. And so now that I'm at trader level 2 with Jaeger, and I've got the level for him, all of my missions. I think they've created a bottleneck by accident here. All of my missions are to kill bosses, except for one, which is Dragnet, which you need that Polykim card for, which is like 5 mil.
Yeah.
Literally every single other task that gives me XP is kill a boss. I've got kill Rishala, I've got kill Tagilla, I've got kill Sturman, I've got kill Kollontai, and I've got kill Kaban. All on the go at the same time. Can I find the buggers? Absolutely not. I've played 2 days. I've seen Rishala once. I've killed him. I found him and found the guys. Then I got bum rushed by the freaking goons of all people, who I don't have a mission for. Dogoy. So I've got bum rushed by those guys. Killed Knight. The other 2 buggered off somewhere else. By the time I got in to kill Rishala, I killed 2 of his guards, and Rishala's at the top. He's been sniped by somebody else. It feels like Tarkov like 2 years ago, when the boss thing was just like awful. And yeah, the rate is a bit higher now, but the game suddenly goes, oh, just go and do bosses. And I was like, I'm just not seeing them. Maybe I'm getting unlucky, but I've played so many raids in general, and like I've played like forwards raids, Sherman just completely non-existent. I've played like 5-6 customs raids. Rishala, I found him once, and somebody else has killed him. I've tried to find Kollontai, like he's just not there. I'm like, oh my god, this is the worst thing. This is so painful. Not being able to get a chance to try the thing is, finding the boss and then dying to the boss and the guards or whatever because of some BS and PvP. That's one thing, but just like running around the map, because I don't have anything else to do on customs right now. So it's like, okay, well, the easiest guy probably is Rishala. I don't really want to run around factory actually to find Tagilla. I'm not really. I don't know. Tagilla factory's just full of people like just hidden in corners. It's like really hard to clear factory these days. And to find Tagilla, you have to run all over the place and like throw grenades and stuff, right? And so people just hear you coming, and even if they're much newer than you and have worse gear, it's so you're at such a disadvantaged skew when somebody's just sat in the corner and can hear you running around. It just is the way. And so I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. Like I've managed to interact with all of the kind of like end game content around PvE and the AI without actually managing to complete my mission, which is like excruciatingly annoying. I went to Streets yesterday because I was just like, well, at least I need to progress the BTR quest line and whatever else. Ended up spawning in that corner one by the theater, as always. I'm just like, oh my god, not this spawn again. Just like, well, I'm just gonna wait instead. I'm gonna go around the corner. You know, if you like leave that spawn right on the edge, it's the one near the not the green flare, sorry, the green smoke like exfil, the one by KFC. If you go out the little building, you turn right. There's actually a little apartment that some people are like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. And you can just sit in there. There's nothing in there. There's just like P to a few other things. And I was like, we're just going to sit in here for a minute because I'd already had an experience relatively recently where I'd been on the other side and I like ran out and I just ran into someone straight away and died. So I was just like, okay, well we're just going to chill. We don't need to rush. We're just going to chill out. It's going to be fine. We're looking for the BTR anyway, or whatever it was I was doing. I can't remember. Oh no, I was trying to do real estate, I think. And I was like, it's literally up there, but there's no way I'm running up there. So I sit in the building. I'm just talking to chat. 5 minutes in, we hear contact. I'm just like, oh no, it's Black Division. Like, what are they doing here? So like, I ended up in like a 20-minute standoff with 4 Black Division guys while I'm trying to like left peek out of the doorway of this freaking apartment, dude. I'm just like, oh my god, it's like so. Like, it was kind of cool because I'd not seen BD before on the maps. Another thing I'd complained about, the fact that they're just like, for me, just non-existent. I've only seen them on Icebreaker. Seen them a bit on the ton on Icebreaker. Played Icebreaker a couple of times, 4 or 5 times. Did not see them on any of the other maps. So I was just like, oh, I actually really want to do this and get them. Did manage to kill them all, and then just like lumbered my way out down Green Flare, I think it was, or something, with like all their gear, which was cool. But I'm just like, oh man, I'm just slightly cursed at the moment. And this boss thing is just like, as I say, it's reminding me of like a couple of years ago when it was just excruciating, even though apparently the spawn rate's like 45%, but just, I don't believe it.
It's it's a numbers game, and it's also you're like rolling 2 different slot machines. You know, the one did the boss spawn. 2, did you get a good spawn to go fight the bosses? You know, because that's like, because I mean, half the time if you get there and they're already dead, it's kind of defeats the purpose, right? I feel like because I have boss tasks as well, and I can't. I mean, it's like weird because when you hunt the boss, it's such a specific thing and like a very like to the point where like people have come up with strats, like gimmick strats, to like rush them and throw flashes to get them to yell. You know what I mean? They like pop SJ6s and stuff because it's such a numbers game. It's not like go mark the thing. So I feel like those need to be like taken off the. Like they should just do one essential task, and it's like, you know, hunting or bosses of Tarkov, and then you just like kill all the bosses in Tarkov, and like once you you know what I mean. That's just like the one.
It'd be better if they were the essential tasks actually,
exactly,
and like the other ones were normal tasks.
Exactly.
Because they'd be like extension things like, oh, unlock this cool thing, you have to go and kill Charlotte or whatever. It's like, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Not just like do this to progress and do Tarkov shooter to unlock some cool thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You talk about essential tasks. I agree. Those are. I think I've done those more than I should have because they give. I was like, oh, XP is good, but like, XP doesn't. XP matters early on to get like 15, and some of the level breaks are kind of nice. Like 20, you can buy more hideout items. 25, you can buy like assault rifles and keys, or maybe it's 20. Anyways, it's like that's nice, but like at the end of the day, it's just like I don't know. It's kind of as a Tarkov quote unquote veteran, it's just kind of like finding it hard to like. There's so many things that the game wants me to do and play, and like, but it's just like I don't know, like the actual like outside of that, the actual like moment to moment gameplay is like so familiar, and you know what I mean. It's just like it's hard to find reasons to keep going, and like the actual grind, that it's asking for me is like it feels like like I said, somehow it feels like there's more grind but also less grind. Like one of the things that annoyed the ever living crap out of me is I had to go plant gas analyzers on factory, because I had two to turn in. I was like, surely they're gonna ask for two, like surely. But then it's like, now go plant a gas analyzer in factory. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And I had to do scout in factory, which you have to scout 4 gates. See, back in my day, we only had to scout 3, but now you got to scout 4. And I had to get the letter. I had to get some stupid chemical from like the little middle section where there's like these 2 giant chemical tanks that are like opened up, and there's like a dead scav in there. So I do all these factory tasks. And I'm just like, oh my god, I hate this map so much because they just turn into like, how can we make this map increasingly painful and super ratty? It's just like, bleh, I hate this map. So I'm playing the map. Somehow we spawn at the inside the exploded container where the quest is. Great, loot it. Like 5 seconds later, it's like if someone's behind us shooting at us. It's just like, what are these spawns? Why are we spawning on top of each other? I thought this map was supposed to be okay, whatever. And then it's like you try to go anywhere, and it's like, oh, there's a guy up in the rafters sniping you. Oh, my bad. Forgot to check the 5 million angles. Like, what am I playing? Like, what map is this? Reserve? Am I running outside in the open with like 5 million buildings and snipers shooting at me? Like, this is crazy. I can't stand that map. I hate it so much. And you have to run around, get all the gates in one go, and then leave out and then you gotta take out the back extract. You want to. It's like, it's so hard to do any task on that map, and you die, and you're just like, oh, it's like it's great. It takes a minute to get in, but it's like the gameplay. It's like I don't know. It's like, I guess I'm just like a skill issue. I gotta like rat for 10 minutes and slow play. It's just, I don't like the map. I hate it so much. But that's been one of
New
my
factory
annoyances.
sucks.
Is the part of it is because I took broken container, and I'm kind of regretting that, because like there's a few tasks where it's like, hey, take this, like take the hose and go plant it here, or take the gas analyzer, go plant it here. I'm just like,
I
if
didn't
I
think about
die,
that.
it's expensive. It's like, it's not a big deal. It's just annoying. It's like more, it's like, I try to think about it as like, I just made the game more tedious, but it's like, in exchange, I got more strength and endurance. So I guess that's kind of like making it a little bit less tedious on one end. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Part of my other gripes with this season 1 feedback would be the actual perks themselves don't really do much. Like, you're basically
True.
largely slightly altering where your PMC specializes early on, if you can even say that. You know what I mean? It's like, you're basically, it's like you're taking a neutral PMC, and then you look at their skills, and you're like, okay, let's increase their nutrition stat slightly, but decrease their this stat. It's like, it doesn't really do a whole lot. And I thought maybe, and some of them do more than, like, for example, the broken container. That one's actually kind of annoying, because it's like, I thought I could overcome that within the first couple of weeks after I get some levels and buy cases and things to put in there, but you basically are limited to wallets and key cards and key tools. So it's like, all right, well, F me, I guess. It's just like Doc's case.
Yeah,
Is
the no injector
useless.
case in there is actually really painful.
It's. I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, I just want a Doc's case. See, that thing is like it's like a Swiss Army knife of loot containers. Like, you can put. I mean,
Do you not have one?
I can't. You can't put it in there. You can't
Oh.
put docs. You can't
Oh.
put sick. It's key tool, wallet, and key card. So like, any safe I loot, it's like all like Bitcoin. That's just got to be out my pocket. It's like,
Oh, damn.
yeah. I mean,
Can you not put
it's
bitcoins in wallets?
actually, you might be right, but I don't know. It says it's blocked. I tried to put it raw in the container. I'll have to try next time. You can't. I think you can put them in a
Yeah.
wallet. I just don't know. I'll have to try next time.
Damn.
Regardless, it's just like, I don't know. That part's kind of like, it's not a big deal. It's just like, it makes sure when you do die, you get like a little return. You don't lose as much. In other
Yeah.
words, sometimes you profit, but it's making the game less, more tedious and less enjoyable, because it's like, and it's like, I don't know. I would have much preferred, you have a 5% chance to spawn in as a zombie. You know what I mean? Like, just something like crazy to, like, you know what I mean? Something that's just like, this is insane. This wipe is, versus like, oh, I'm a little bit stronger early wipe. Okay.
Yeah. I think that I've definitely seen that feedback around that it's like not crazy enough.
Yeah.
A lot of people have just said it just feels like a normal wipe with some like small modifiers, and that people should really be able to do like insane things.
Like,
I
let
think
me
like yeah,
spawn
Wellen
as a
made a post about
cultist on
this
my
actually.
scav occasionally. Like, that would be insane. Like, a stealth movement, you know? It's like, I mean, I don't care. Go crazy with it. I just, like, I want to
Yeah,
have.
he was like, he said, I like the Tarkov experiment to be seasonal, but I wish they pushed them way further. I picked every negative modifier. The only one that's meaningfully changed my gameplay is Dr. Jekyll. And I think Friendly Guy said this as well. It's just he's picked every negative and no positives, and it hasn't really changed the experience that much. But yeah, Dr. Jekyll, because I need to pack lots of bandages and constantly deal with bleeds on long raids. I don't want plus 15% hydration drain. I want modifiers that completely change how you play. Stuff like can't use full auto on weapons, but max mastery on every gun. Well, 75% faster hydration drain, but infinite stamina. These are like
Yeah.
random ideas. Having trade offs, so you get one buff and one nerf in the same perk.
Yeah.
You
See,
know, big
that's
changes is what creates
great.
new metas, makes the game feel genuinely fresh instead of just adding small inconveniences or buffs.
Yeah. Which I feel like I definitely made a mistake. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm too far in to really reset my account, so I'm not really,
For sure.
I'm not bothered. But the one final thing I'll say, feedback wise, is the battle pass. I know we already talked about it a little bit, but the actual, I guess, the presentation of it, it's so confusing because you got the cord breach quest line that gives you unlocks, and then you got like the battle pass. Doing the battle pass gives you unlocks, and there's another page that's like talks about getting unlocks, and they're like different unlocks than what the battle pass is. Like, I don't know. I just want to know what I need to do to get like unlock trader weapons permanently for my account, and I honestly don't know what I need to do. I don't know if it's the quest line. I don't know if it's the battle pass. I don't know if it's the battle pass rewards. If I gotta complete the battle pass, like, I have no idea. I genuinely am just so confused. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like as you say, some of it comes from the battle pass, some of it comes from the quest line. The quest line is just really unfair. I think that the quest line will be easier as time goes on because a lot of it is just collect all of this Black Division gear. So you're just like highly sensitive to seeing them. And a lot of people just like don't see them. Apparently, like glorious ground like streets like 8 hours in a row to get like one piece of armor and stuff like this. It's just like crazy.
My thing is like, why do that? Why not just go icebreaker?
Because they don't spawn all of the loot. I don't think so. Icebreaker, I still don't think they spawn. There's like the really big one. It looks like there's a Zabralo. It looks like a kind of a black Zabralo. They don't spawn that on Icebreaker. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And there's certain gear that they only spawn in the raid because the Icebreaker ones are kind of nerfed now. So they've got class 4 plates. They usually have the set. The thing they always have on Icebreaker. I've not seen them with. Actually, maybe they did change it, but I don't remember. Like I don't think I often see them without either the big 4x4 black rig or the smaller 3x3 tan rig. Is it either that or the other? I don't think they have any rigs.
That's how it used to be previously, anyways.
They did change something. I can't remember what it was now. I
There's
think they
white
still. I think they're just.
I don't know if that spawns.
Yeah, that. I can't. I'm actually not sure. And I know Wedge and his people have something slightly different. Maybe, but I know the one. But the guys on the map are like juiced. They're like juiced up, like big time. Like the guys that I fought, they were like huge bullet. Like they actually got stuck. I killed the last 2 of them because they got distracted by scavs, and I shot them from behind, and I was just like holding down mouse 1 on the MCX, just, and I was like, is this guy dead? But he's just going, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, and I'm like, what the hell? I was just like lasering this guy. Just like immortal. They're just like super immortal. But I mean, they're wearing, they've got huge HP, and the guys were wearing like full class 6. I was like, oh my god, okay, this guy's actually like really kitted. Like, what the hell? And even shooting them in the head, so you have to shoot them like 3 times because they got, I was using. I think by that point I'd run out of ammo, so I was using like BCP. So it's just like, okay, well that's going to bounce off a class 4 for starters. You have to hit them and shoot. We have to hit them twice in the head for them to die anyway. So just like doink 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 doink. The guy's like oof oof, and then they finally fall over. You're like, oh god! Like some of it's probably hitting plates and like, oh my god, it was just insane. But yeah, so a lot of these is like collect this thing, collect that thing, collect a pair of random glasses, collect like this rig, collect this, collect collect. Oh, my favorite one of the whole thing is what's in the bag, which is like, oh, if you put the 5 cultist tags, not cultist tags, if you put the 5 Black Division tags from the original drops into the thing, you got this bag, and you opened it up, it gave you some battle pass documents, great. And then the quest like 6 quests in, it's like, oh yeah, get that bag by the way. And it's like, no, I opened it for Battle Pass doc. Oh, goddamn. Apparently there is another mission that gives you a bag of docs. Don't open it any costs. To anybody who's listening who's not got to that. I've not got to that one yet. I've already opened the first one from the Cult Circle. Do not open the second one at any cost. Like, it is not worth it. Do not open any bags. But this is the thing. Also, then I think it's just like I don't like the cord breach quests really. Like, they're okay, but the collect all the stuff ones are maybe all right. But it's like you got to find them finding raid, and you don't know exactly what, because I haven't looked it up yet. So even I can't be bothered to look it up yet because I'm sort of going through it as and when. So what do I need exactly? I know that things like this are coming, so I'm just afraid to use any of the gear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you have these giant backpacks in your thing.
Yeah,
No, I'm
huge
in the same.
backpacks, big armor, really
Yeah,
cool stuff. And I'm like, I'm afraid to wear any of it because what if I go, oh well, I'll use. I've got 2 of these, so I'll use that, blah, blah. And then you get to the quest, it's like 3 of this one type because they're often like that.
yeah,
And then I'll be like, oh, I really wish I hadn't used that just randomly because it was cool. Like, you know,
yeah. Or you get some dog
F
tags,
me
and you're
for actually
like,
dare to using the freaking thing in the game. Yeah, like all the dog tags. It's like, oh, but you can trade that for M855A1.
yeah,
You're not going to fool me, Nikita. That's staying in my inventory until the end of the
I
wipe.
know.
Like, there's no way I'm trading that for any gear. Like, there's no chance that I'm trading that for anything. Like, you try with your bait. Try to bait me in, and then you'll be like, right at the end, it will just be like, kablamo, you need 5 of these to finish the final mission because we've released it halfway through because it was, it's a community-based event, and now you've got to go and kill all these. I don't know. So I'm so distrustful of the BSG quest system at this point. I feel like I've just complained the whole time about season 1. I'm actually having fun, by the way, just for the record.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually enjoying it, but there's just like lots of things to it that are making me question my life choices. But I
Yeah,
am enjoying it. I think season 1 is cool. I do think it's good.
I'm definitely looking
I don't,
forward to
I don't
their. What? What?
I don't want to just like. I've just literally feel like I've just moaned for like an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's their first attempt, so like, I think there's gonna be, you know what I mean, things to like give feedback on, and I'm probably more excited for what they do next season because I don't know, like I said, I kind of feel my desire to play this like already kind of taper off. There's a Wardogs playtest, which we'll talk about at the end, coming actually today in a couple hours that I'm like dying to play, so I'm like excited for that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the feedback I'd say I would have. I mean, I'd be like I said, I'd be curious to see what they do next time around because I think there's a lot of potential. I think the perks thing was a really cool idea, a lot of fun. First with the new changes to the traders, that was a lot of fun. It's just I think the other issue that we've talked about before, so we don't have to spend a lot of time, is just like the amount of like armor and gear that's around. It doesn't really. I don't know. It's just yeah. I would prefer if they do. I feel like the prepper gear is like way too strong. I mean, it's cool, but like I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe it's not a big deal. But like I
Which
have
gear? Do you
zero
mean like the drops and
drops.
stuff?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have done 0 drops. Like I haven't claimed any. And I mean, I didn't even bother doing it because like I
Right.
think a couple days ago I stopped getting prepper stuff. But like class 4 is just like everywhere, and like it's you find it on scav, you just like have it from prepper giving you your daily class 4. And I don't know. It's just I've not had issue with armor, which I think is like probably a good thing in general. Like you kind of want armor to do something over ammo. But it does. But like from like the word go, having class 4 in abundance was a little odd. So that was like probably the only feedback I would have, is like we just like just make the progress, because like class 4 is like, I mean, you say this all the time. It's like the bare minimum, and like but like early wave, I feel like there's a few, it's meant to be more scrappier. So like, for example, I think like what is that green armored rig that's like class 4? Is it the 6B47? Is that what it's
The
called?
6B through the 6B3TM or the
Maybe
Ulay, the
the
6B5
Ulay.
Ulay.
Yeah, it's the Ulay. And that one's like the
That's
bottom
the good one.
tier of
Hmm.
class 4 armors. You know what I mean? And then you got like the top tier of class 4, which is like, I don't know, maybe like some armored rig with side plates and 24
Yeah.
slots. Like I don't know, but I guess or maybe anyways. I guess my point is like I feel like there's a decent range in class 4 where like we could have like some low level class 4 stuff kind of like semi accessible early on, but like let me use some of the like class 2 and 3 because just I don't know, I want it to feel a little more um rewarding to kind of have. I just honestly, I just like I've had class no issues running class 4.
Yeah.
I don't even think I've had to buy armor. It's just like I just constantly My stash is full of class 4 armor. It just is like.
But it's so weird because they said, "Oh, it's an armor shortage." So now you can't.
Exactly.
It's
Yes.
basically the issue. The main issue for me on this topic, and yes, we talked about it previously, but there's no There's actually no progression in armor at all in the game now, pretty much whatsoever.
That's what I thought.
You start with class 4, and then because of armor, and there's loads of it, and because of armor shortage, you can't get anything better. So that's it. You're just class 4. Like there's nothing there. Like so, the traders don't sell class 5 at all now. Currently.
That's what I thought, because
so
I link searched the
class 4 the wipe.
I was link searching Golden Egg. I was like, there's no Karun blade or no Bastion, nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
There's no Bagaris, nothing.
I'll just sell the Golden Egg.
So how do you do it? Well, you can kill Black Division. You can go Icebreaker.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of them have for class 5, fine. You can find Black Division on the actual maps. Okay, cool, whatever. Like, it's founding raid only, so I feel like it's okay. I don't mind in some ways. It's all right. They brought the Plate Alchemy back. So if you could get a Zabralo early and finish so it good, you can make Tactex, and they've got the 1 plate into 2. I think somebody might have forgotten that. They took
my
that
God!
away.
I turned mine in. My plate's in for Fragment Quest. Damn.
Well, it's the actual main body of the. So if you've got, it depends if you've still got the Zabralo or not.
Oh, I don't think I do. You need the actual. I turned that into something.
Yeah. So there's the Good Times mission.
Yes.
Which is where I got mine from. And I used it trying to complete the Good Times and died to a man with an SR2M. So I don't have mine. I've got to wait until Prapor 4. But yeah, if you have managed to keep it for some reason, then you can hand that into Ragman, and then you can start making Tactics. So you can make class 5 that way. So there is a way of doing it. But yeah, outside of that, it's just not possible. So many people have come to me though and said and I do feel like this wipe is a bit weird because people have said, "Oh, which trader should I focus on this wipe? Like, which one's the best? Which one is going to give me the good armor and the good ammo this wipe?" And you know what my answer has been?
Nobody?
None of them. Don't worry about it. You're not going to buy anything from any of them. They all are awful. You're going to get your armor from the fleet, and you're going to get your ammo in raid.
I think you're right.
You don't need anything from the traders at all. Like, the traders are awful this wipe. Until you get to level 4, then you can buy like staple ammo that's actually okay. So you can then buy 762 PP. You'll be able to buy CBJ for the MCX. You'll be able to buy M856A1. So it's like the lower stacking ammo. It's like the bare minimum PvP ammo because it's going to, again, go through class 4. Like, there's no point buying M855 for Peacekeeper 3 because everyone's wearing class 4!
I mean, you're kind of right. That's why, honestly, the MP5 quest, I was kind of enjoying that because they're all wearing class 4, so like I'm just gonna use the high rate of fire, gun to hit them in the head, and it's like, yeah, this was fine. On that note, one other thing I don't like is these gun kill PMCs of this gun task early on, because it's like, I got like a cool gun. Oh, sorry, I'm going this map, so I have to use this gun, otherwise I'm not being efficient. It's like, but I got this cool gun off Black Division or, the QBZ or whatever. It's like, sorry, you're not allowed to have fun. This is Tarkov. I was like, again, those have got to be like, I'm fine if you like asking me to like do a thing, but like, we have 1,000 creativity in like my kits, and you're like saying, nope, use this very specific thing. It's annoying. So and it's kill PMCs, which is like harder than killing scavs, just definitively.
Yeah. So it's like you have to have something good. You have to go with like a good loadout for it.
Yeah, and then it's like addition, because I'm on the AK-12 one. You need a PSO scope. I think that's what it's called. No, what is that? Is that what it's called? The 1x6.
You're basically doing. Yeah, the Valde. You're doing
the Valde, yes.
Test drive, effectively. The new, they've rebranded Test drive.
Yes, but I don't think I can get the Valde that easily. I have to like barter for it, maybe. And then like the suppressor, I have to like barter for it. Like, you need trader stuff, and it's like, but like outside of this, I'm never gonna interact with it. Maybe like once in a blue moon. You know what I mean? It's just like it's annoying. So yeah.
Yeah, those quest lines are annoying. I've just not done them. I've just gone like whatever. I'm just like not bothering with them.
Maybe I should
remember
do that.
To be honest, it was worse back in the day. Like when you couldn't buy the AK-12 suppressor outside of the fleet. It was like $500,000. Like they've added the stuff in to make it a bit better. Because you couldn't buy the Schmidt Bender 128 at one point as well.
Yeah.
And you had to get it. The only place you could get it was the Labs card barter on Peacekeeper 3 or something. So then they added a barter for that. So they have done some work on it. Okay. And some of the others are better too. Have you seen setup? You can use like the ADAR, you can use any of the shotguns.
I think that's great.
Use the VPO, you can use loads of stuff. So like some of the quests are better like for that, and Shooter Born of Heaven is like pick a map and do headshots on like either of them kind of thing. I believe.
Yeah, there's some good.
I've not got
some...
there yet because I'm only on Tarkov
Okay.
Shooter 2 still, but I couldn't be bothered. Okay, right. Before we get like distracted again, let's just quickly go.
Okay.
So Nikita did a follow up on Tarkov TV of a bunch of questions. So it's like a questions from the comments on Tarkov TV that he then did that then he released afterwards. I actually haven't read this. I forgot to read this and noticed it when I was looking through his page. So I'm just going to go through it. Could you share your long-term development plans beyond the planned 2 to 3 seasons per year? He said there will be 2 seasons per year. Among the major planned developments is a revamp of the game's graphics. I honestly actually don't know why they're doing this. It's going to take them forever, and it's probably just going to destroy everyone's computer. But this is a very large undertaking. In addition, we plan to release 2 DLCs, the Clan System and Scav Life. There were also many other exciting things in the pipeline as new story chapters. That was basically the biggest thing out of Tarkov TV was that the DLCs aren't coming this year. I don't know why he said 2 this year when it was unlikely 1 was going to be coming this year, and then neither are now coming this year. So like no one is surprised. But anyway. Right now, it's important for us to combine the preparations of new seasons with work on the DLCs, carry them out in parallel. Thing is, the original concept of the seasons was very simple. It was just meant to be a wipe. Along the way, it's turned into a fully fledged, serious system that requires more time and effort. Fine. Are there plans to allow players to earn Tarcoin in EFT Arena? We're considering it. Will Prestige be available in future seasons? No. For seasons, we need to develop a separate system that wouldn't overlap. Will there be any buffs for solo players, given the option to complete tasks in a group exists now? There has actually been quite a lot of chat about buffing solos, especially with Nikita's confirming that the down but not out like unconscious state system is actually coming at some point, and the ability to like res your teammate, because that's a huge ramifications for solos. So we'll see. But anyway, he said, I think so. There will be some buffs for solo players. We'll probably also introduce achievements tied to solo play. Some people raised this with adding some like solo any perks kind of thing. So like you can only play solo, like as a perk specifically, you can only play solo, but you get this.
Oh, that's not a bad
idea.
idea.
I recommended the hunt showdown one where like perks are like slightly different if you're solo versus if you're in a team.
Yeah, that's also a
maybe
good
that's
one.
a bit harder because then it would change depending on whether you're in the team or not. But I mean, it could work if they do it in the right way. Based on the comment on Tarkov TV, the answer wasn't entirely clear. Are we getting a kill cam or full raid replay? At the very least, it'll be a kill cam. Yeah, because you can spectate your teammates in game now, right? Mm-hmm. It's also important to understand that a kill cam and a raid replay are 2 different things. We haven't considered full replays, although recording a raid with a PMC helmet-mounted camera seems to me to be much more realistic and appropriate than a kill cam from the killer's perspective. There's not really much point seeing yourself get shot in the face there. That's not really what people want it for.
Yeah.
Would you like to add Battle Pass documents to the reward pool for daily or weekly tasks? We'd like to. We'll most likely add them to the weekly ones, so it's really going to not help at all. Are there plans for season similar to the softcore wipe of the future? I think so. One of the seasons will be softcore and laid back. Would it be possible to transfer experience or items from the seasonal character to the permanent one at the end of the season? No. So it's only achievements and like unlocks that are going to transfer, interestingly. Are there still plans to add access to Labyrinth from the menu? Yes. 1 new weapons are planned in the near future. The plans to expand the range of existing calibers. So the G3 and the FAMAS will be added this year. The AEK is planned for later. And possibly the Abakan. Is that the AN94? What was the Abakan rifle otherwise? I'm pretty sure that's the N94, isn't it? Yeah, it is the N94. Okay, cool. I thought it was. I didn't want to get it wrong though. So AEK and the AN94 they're thinking of adding. There are many weapons worth adding. I can't say anything specific about them at the moment. I'm constantly adding new cartridges, although some calibers are already oversaturated with them. Which features did you have to abandon completely? He basically said nothing. We're keeping everything planned and don't ever say no. Talking about customizable rigs. Main expectations for Unity 6. Graphics, basically. Is the current version of EFT close to how you envisage the game? It's very close. Obviously, 10 years ago, I was planning an ultra-hardcore game. Didn't imagine it would last this long. Plan was very niche, a hardcore simulator. If you watch the first stream of the alpha version, you'll essentially see it's basically the same. So yeah, there wasn't too much out of there. Just a few little kind of clarifiers, I should say. That's quite nice to see. Let's just riddle through the rest of his. So he also put something on. So in the Tarkov TV, he said that the player base was split a third between all of the different PMC modes. PvE, PvP, PvP seasonal. And then afterwards, because people were like, really, that seems very surprising that so many people are in PvP. And afterwards he said, okay, I was wrong about the percentage of players on different game modes. Fair play. He did own up to it. So he said at the moment, this is 10 days ago, 55% of players in PvP season, 38% of players in PvE, 7% of players in PvP. Which makes sense.
Yeah, that all tracks.
That sounds about right, you know. And there's actually quite a lot of people in normal PvP who've said like, "Oh, I'm surprised it's so low because like you wouldn't know based on my rates. I'm still getting in, and there's still people." I think what they did to the raid matchmaking to allow people to get in actually just like worked amazingly well.
Yeah. I mean, I
just worked super well.
This is one thing I will definitely say. 2-minute queue times are amazing. So yeah,
it's insane. It's so good.
much better.
And this is the thing. It's what we said all along for like 6 years. Because there's no matchmaking in this game. This would be the easiest game to matchmake ever.
Easy,
I was playing like Dota 2 last night with some friends, just playing Turbo, and it's like this game has got to take like 5 hidden MMRs across 5 players who don't play very often, match them up against like a team MMR from other people with disparate like. It's so much more difficult to do matchmaking there. Tarkov is just like, who's ready? Let's go. That's literally the matchmaking process. It's like groups, squads, whatever. Just as long as you don't go over the maximum cap of the map, it's like it's the easiest matchmaking ever. So there was no reason. It's amazing, but dear God, it took a long time to get to this point. But better late than never. That's what I'm saying. Like, praise be. But it's like it's made the game so much better in so many ways. Even like resetting on Lighthouse, like, oh, I've got Southern Road. I will just leave because in 1.5 minutes I'll be back again.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so much better. Okay, and then somebody asked him about Nikita. To be honest, people always ask me Nikita. Be honest, and do you ever think to yourself maybe you shouldn't have released PvE? And he said PvE is a great addition to Tarkov. Never regretted that, but I regret adding the flea market though.
Oh, which is interesting.
It is interesting, and I actually agree with him. Because when you play without the fleet, there's so much more of Tarkov that actually makes sense. I think we've talked about this before. Playing hardcore, Tarkov makes a lot more sense without the flea market, with barters and with the money and with everything else. It's a completely different game.
Yeah. And
recently I was like reminiscing about Diablo 3, which I played quite a bit, and that had like an auction house. And the game I enjoyed it, and the same thing with EFT. It was fun being able to like trade stuff and like buy different things or whatever. But like the individual player progression just gets absolutely shredded by the ability to sell stuff to other people, because the individual unique story that your character has is really heavily swayed by like, did I find this class 6 armor early or not? Did I find this gun or not? Did I find this ammo or not? Etc. etc. With the fleet, it kind of like averages everybody's experience out to this like midline. Like, well, some people will find extra class 4 armor and some people won't find any, but because of the flea market and you've got a bit of money, everybody just you can buy that extra armor off him that you wouldn't normally get yourself, and it just averages the experience for everyone. So I do actually agree with him. The thing is, you just can't take it back now. It's so integrated, there's no way.
How much did you pay for relays on the flea market?
I don't remember. A lot, I think 150, I think, when I was buying.
That's how much I paid. So there you go. And I bought mine like a couple days ago. Bought 10 for
and I think what I did was that I was selling them early. I actually sold a lot of stuff early because I wasn't really that bothered about the hideout because they shortened a lot of the timers. So I was like, usually I'm like, they take ages. It's like 14 hours or something per.
Except for the library. Why in God's name is that taking like 90 hours? It's ridiculous. Sorry,
I'm not sure if I even have the library yet, but yeah, it does take a really, really long time. So I ended up I sold like keck tapes, relays, stuff like that, like really early on, to just make money and just be like, well, I'll deal with that later. And then when they halved, I was like, fine, and now I'll buy them all back, get like 2 for 1, because I wasn't desperate to move up. Like Workbench and Lavatory, sure, like I wanted to get those up on Water Collector, but the rest of it, I was just like, it can wait. I don't need Gen 3 really at this point, and I'm locked anyway. I can't buy the stuff for Bitcoin Farm anyway because you can't buy VPXs until you level like 30 something, whatever it is, 30 or 35. So it's like, I'm in no rush. It's okay. So yeah, that was interesting. There's a few other conversations. This one, I don't even know what Nikita even means here. Okay, you're crazy and non-trivial ideas only. How can we get rid of campers and rats? This thing is like exploded the community. It's like 1.1 million views on this thing. Holy,
oh my God.
Nikita gets some serious engagement, honestly. I think there's a lot of people invested in EFT that just don't play.
I think that's so
it's like
true.
a lot of people. And it's just like every possible idea about audio, making audio ranges shorter to stop people from just sitting and listening to people, to make flanking easier, to allowing grenades to be thrown more easily, to yada yada yada. I didn't even know. It's just like it's just changing extracts, all sorts. But I don't even know why. Let's take it one step back. Why is this? Why do we even need to get rid of campers?
I don't know. Somebody cried on a feedback post, and Nikita got wind of it.
Nikita got killed at Emacom.
See, that's the only thing I have a pet peeve about is like extract campers. You know what I mean? Like if it's annoying if you like sit there and like rat me out, but like I get it. I do it all the time too. You know what I mean? It's like I'm slow walking. I hear you sprinting. Oh, or I'm not slow walking, but I'm just like walking, and I hear someone sprinting. Like, okay, well, let me just stand still and get ready to kill this guy because he's gonna come around the corner and not expect me. You know what I mean? So like, I get it. It's like fair play. It's the risks you take for moving faster, traversing the map faster. But like the thing that I hate is like just like you just have like like these scumbags who just spawn at Intercon like, well, let me just set up real quick with my Mosin, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're just like so cringe. Like I haven't had that happen to me this way, but like if it does and I'm playing in the next couple of days, like I'm probably done. Because like my tolerance for this stuff is just like so thin. Like especially if I have to play Factory and that happens to me. Like God, I hate Factory. Like I thought they were supposed to roll it back. Like, can we do that, please? Like, just
No, they're not going to do
make
that.
it
They're going to
permanent.
make it an event.
I know, but like, can the event happen now? And can it be permanent? That's what I'm saying. Because I cannot. They need to do a repass on that map. It's awful. It is complete and utter dog. Like it's awful. I can't stand it. It needs to burn in the fires of Tarkov. Like, oh my god, the blue flame.
They need like a big lever, and it turns on like a million floodlights in there. That would help. It's already
but you know
so
what's
dark.
crazy?
I think that's
It's
half
like
the problem.
nighttime factory is brighter than daytime factory. Like, what are we talking about? It's crazy. It's crazy.
I had
I
to
hate
like
that
punch my
map.
desk moment on Factory because I was scavving though, and I was trying to do the battle pass documents. I went around the entire map, and then I tried to grab the last document. You know, it's outside gate 3 in the little just a little
Yes.
shack thing.
Yes.
There's like 2 in there. I went in there and stood still for 1 second and got headshot by a PMC with the AUG with 3 minutes left to the end of the raid, and I was just like, "What are you doing now?" I was like, "I'm about to lose it."
He's questing. You know, that's how you gotta play the
I
map
know,
now.
'cause
You
you
have
headshots
to
with the
rat.
AUG.
You have to rat for 10 minutes, 20 minutes to play the map. Now it's like, yep, that's like,
Yeah.
it was so much better when it was like so much more simplified. It's like, ugh.
So yeah, I don't know. I think, do you know what the one best thing that I saw about like campers? Obviously, if you don't know they're there, that is kind of tough. But I really enjoyed watching a clip of Axel taking a CS gas grenade out of Icebreaker and killing somebody in the woods bunker with it. They were just like down there, just like hiding.
Oh no!
And he's just like, just like fill the bucket, just hear the guy. And the weapon would clatter onto the floor. Just like, yes, that's great. I love it.
Oh my god!
They should bring that in more. I think that would be so good.
That's
so good.
I think
The
that
CS
was the
gas.
Geneva Convention to take
It's
issue with that.
fantastic.
Oh my god!
I think it's like the best addition to
World
the
War
game
I right here.
I would love to unlock CS gas in EFT. It'd be so good.
Oh my god, that's pretty good content. That's pretty good content.
The other one is there was a big long discussion because again TerraTex, he puts up some good posts actually. He put up a post saying the concept of finding an 80 million ruble item early wipe, you can't die or it'll turn into a 500k sell price, right? And it was just basically like finding red card early on. This turned into a really big conversation in general because I have been a proponent of the system where you have 2 separate sets of key cards.
Mm-hmm.
One is like the permanent master key style, and one is the temporary one. Because in my opinion, you get both best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Where there are cheap keys that are 10 use. If you need to go and use those rooms, or you want to use those rooms just generally, you're a normal player, you find them more often, it's fine. It allows them to not just be like locked off permanently, unless you're like a Giga Chad. So I think it's good that they did this. But we are kind of missing like the big end game items and something to just like work towards to buy. Because for some people, it's like, what do you do with the rubles? Like rubles are already so devalued, I think, in general, because you can't buy most things that are good with them anyway, really. Like you can't really buy ammo, you can't really buy guns. You have to find most of that stuff in raid if it's like good.
Sorry, I can hear your children in the background.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what? I'm just gonna.
Sounds like World War III. Oh, poor Giga. I feel bad for saying something. I could just hear. Sounds like bloody murder.
Goodness me. She's just gone like completely feral. Holy. This is my 3-year-old. This is the younger one. The older one is like, I didn't think you'd be able to hear that because I can only barely hear it in my headphones. But it's probably, I think my microphone is like, no, that's good. I'm glad you told me. I think my microphone is like more sensitive than because he's a noise cancelling. You see, so the mic, it doesn't have any
Oh,
noise cancelling on it outside of like filters.
yeah, yeah.
And so I probably can't hear it as much as the mic can because there's nothing like baffled around the mic in that sense. It's only for me with like the little pop filter. So apologies everybody for for I think it was probably like 3 minutes of like screaming. But anyway, I don't even know
No,
what's I don't
it
even know
wasn't
what's
that
happened.
loud. It's just I
Okay.
heard like one real, yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I feel bad for even saying anything. It was just funny. I
No,
could
no,
hear
that's
it.
fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, they were like, so my room is here, and then there's the
Mm-hmm.
hallway, and then there's the door into the living room. That was also closed.
Oh my
And they were
god.
and they were in the living room. So I've made the move through to the kitchen, which is another door out. There's like three doors now between me and the screaming 3-year-old.
Ah, the
Yeah.
2-year-old. Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Fun.
Because
Fun.
they go from there's a few adages. It's like terrible twos. People say, although I never really found it
Yes.
was that bad. But I prefer the phrase three-nager because that one's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it's not too bad most of the time. But anyway, where were we? Red card, yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, my idea was like, okay, well, you have like two separate cards, one which is temporary with the 10 use, one which is the infinite use. It gives people the cool feeling of looking on the flea and there's like a 60 million item. I just like it as a concept, you know. It's like
Mm-hmm.
something that's like way more expensive than you can afford. I
Yes.
just
It's like
enjoy that in general.
yeah, you know the meme where the priest is holding up something super valuable with his little like hands in the air. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen it? It's
I
like
don't
a
know actually.
oh shucks. I'll have to see if I can find this to you later.
Maybe
But
I have.
it's like something that like that's the rarest, most valuable thing in the game, and it's worth like 80 times what you currently have in your bank account. You know what I mean? It's like whoa. I get what you mean.
Yeah, I just think it's cool for like the world to be like these items exist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really really neat. So anyway, so I actually posted like something about that basically, and tagged Sergey in it, and I think a few people tagged him because he usually comments on this stuff, and he said this was getting traction, so I'll comment. Personal takes, buckle up. I remember when Labs keycards had unlimited uses and cost a fortune. Does finding one feel amazing? Does your hands shake on the way to extract? Absolutely, but it also creates problems. Back in my streaming days, I ran into dozens of these guys running Sanatorium with nothing but an APS, hoping to hit red or blue and be set for the whole wipe. Do you enjoy fighting them? I don't think so. Best case, a quest kill counts. Worst case, he's got nothing on him, and the keycard already in his gamma. Chef's kiss, his pockets are full of single rubles, so the card drops straight into a secure container like a little FU note left behind. And there's also the part where the keycards stop being items you actually use. They become a luxury good. Better they end up with people who actually run labs. Or that finding one makes you think, well, I guess I could go to labs and not, I'm set for the wipe once I sell this. Ironically, that's what limited uses and more frequent spawns achieves. The less each card is worth, the more likely it actually gets used, and it gives us room to make the lock rooms genuinely worth entering. You can't really balance a room when the key is infinite and worth 80 mil. But here's the real issue: one lucky find outweighs weeks of everyone else's progress. It's not a reward for playing well; it's a lottery ticket. And what happens after you
Mm-hmm.
cash it? For a lot of people, the wipe is essentially over. The goal's been hit, the money problem is solved. There's nothing left to chase. That's a rough cycle for a game built on progression. So going back to how it was probably isn't the answer. And moving decisions back and forth isn't great either. It'd be much better to try something new. Maybe it's worth thinking about genuinely rare items that I should head to extract. Put I should head to extract in your head and get your hands shaking again. Just not want to let you ignore the economy afterwards, and not tournament armbands either. Lol. Genuinely curious what you'd want that to look like, which is interesting. And like I see what he's saying in some ways. I wrote my own response to this, but I'll paraphrase it because I can't be bothered to bring it up. Which was that like I see what he's saying on some sense, and I also
Mm-hmm.
just think he's like not quite correct in other ways, because some of what he's talking about here is about like hatchlings effectively, right? And we already had this conversation years ago about, oh, if we remove Fan and Raid from the fleet, you're going to get hatchlings again, and I thought we would, and we didn't. And I think the game has changed a lot, and I don't think you're going to have the people with an APS hoping to hit red or blue, especially if they're genuinely super rare. Right? It's the reason why they're that expensive, because I just don't think that mentality of EFT is coming back at this stage. You know, it's like
Hard to say for
you
certain.
can run in, find a LEDX now, and sell it on the flea. I mean, maybe it would if it was
Yeah.
like that much money. You'd think you could do the same with like check keys, mark keys, whatever. You just don't see hatchlings really. Sometimes you see Mosid Man, but that's in like today. I just don't think in 2026 Tarkov people are going to like hatchling run. I think the community's changed. I think the game has changed. It's so much easier to get geared up. Like money is so much easier to make just in general. You know, that's probably one
Maybe.
benefit of the game being less hardcore. You're less incentive. It's not just like I'm at rock bottom, so I've got nothing else to do but just hatch run every on PMC.
I
I
don't
just don't think
know.
it's coming back. But then there's also the part of like, the keycards stop being items and being a luxury good. It's like, well, that's why we'd have both. So people will use the 10 use ones. I don't mind a bit. Like, what's the problem with it being a luxury good? I actually don't really mind. Again, we say it was. He says that like it's a bad thing. Does it matter that people don't use the infinite keys that much, or they're never going to pay themselves back? Like, it's more about like having something to go for, and like it being a flex end and
Yeah.
wipe. Like, I've got a full set of permanent labs keys. Like, look how much of a Chad I am. Especially all the permanent PMC as well. And then, it's like, oh, and then it's like the real issue. One lucky find out weeks of everyone else's progress. Like, isn't that the idea of AFT though? Isn't that the story of your character? Like, what happens to you in the wipe? Like, you had that one wipe where you found red card and you made bank on like the second week. Like, you're gonna remember that forever. That story is like a crazy story, and yeah, it like solves the money problem. But also, this is also an old way of thinking about EFT. Back when money was everything. What would happen now if you started at level 1, you did a bunch of whatevers, and then you found red card, and let's just say for argument's sake you got to level 15 and made enough money to pay for the flea market fee in the first place and made like 60 mil. Well, now what? Well, you still can't buy class 5. You can't buy M856A1. You're still not able to buy guns until level 25 off the flea market. So you can't buy the black MDR. You can't buy M80. You can't buy M80A1. You can't. You could buy yourself through some of the hideout,
That's
except you're
fair.
level locked from buying half those items. So like the rubles thing, it solves like one of the problems that Tarkov asks you to solve, but none of the rest of it. There's so much stuff now. You need
Yeah.
to find in rage. You need trader rep. You need levels. You need to do all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's
I don't know.
fair.
I don't think it's as big of a problem as it used to be. I
Yeah,
really
because
don't.
back then, you would be like, what was it, level 10 for flea market?
I think
Maybe
so. And you can buy anything.
you
So
could
you just
buy
do like
anything.
Altins, Class 6,
Yeah.
Hex grids,
So
everything.
you were basically playing sandbox mode, whereas now you can't
Yeah.
do that at all. So I see what you're saying. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And it
you
happens
probably
to a minute number of people.
yes.
Because
Yes.
otherwise the key wouldn't be 80 mil. Right? There's the reason why it's so like I wonder how many people actually do find these cards like back in the day. It was
Yeah.
like such small number of people.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a streamer thing. I don't know. Part of me, I could see what he's saying. I think I would like specifically what he's talking about, where you loot an item. It's like, oh, I should go and get out of the raid, because I think that creates tension, and like it's
Mm-hmm.
tension. I feel like that's really the heart of Tarkov, is having that certain level of tension. And it's like a payout. It's not like a quest progression gatekeeping thing. It's like you get like a pretty big reward. I like that concept. I think doing something, yeah, kind of having both, like the limited use and a permanent. I was thinking, this is a little bit of a tangent. But what do you think about like a master key card? Like, it's instead of having red, blue, yellow, like all this stuff. Like, what if you just had like one that was like, I don't.
Gold key card.
Yeah, and like maybe it could be, you could do it like, once you bring it into a raid, then it like, I don't know how you could set it up, but like basically it's like one use for that raid, but you can use it infinitely. So you can unlock everything in labs, if you went to labs or
Yeah.
something, or you could, unlock all. I don't know. I mean,
It could be cool.
it may not be that valuable though, but I don't know, something like this
Yeah,
where
it
it's
could be
like,
cool. The only thing that I was thinking, so some people's suggestion, which I did think was good actually, to have something new and not just go back to an old system, was do more stuff like the labs items or the rusted bloody key, where it's like no secure container, and maybe they've got like one use or something. So, but it's like really valuable for whatever it might be. The
yeah,
other way of doing it, I suppose, is that you could do like master key cards. You find it right, can't go on the flea, can't go insecure.
yeah, yeah. No, I like
So
that.
like
That's
you just use, so you can't sell it. There's no monetary value
you just gotta
unless you
use it.
use the damn
Yeah,
thing. But you go and use it, someone kills you, they get it.
yeah. That's kind of, yeah.
Like a super valuable thing that you'd be like, oh, I really want to get out raid with this, and I want to use it, but like I got to take my best gear.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
makes it that gives stakes to the raid for sure.
Yeah. It's hard because you got to balance stakes of like payout, because then if the risk is high but the reward isn't matching that, then what I mean, you're not going to do the
Yeah,
thing.
maybe put a special room. Maybe make like this little gold room or whatever, and it's got like 5 bitcoins in it or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like up
I
the
don't know. It's
Bitcoin
like, whatever.
spawns in the rooms or something,
Yeah,
rare spawns.
there's just
So
like a little. They add a safe which you need to swipe the gold card or something like that, and it's like
yeah, that actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
something like that. Like it opens any room, but it also opens. It can. This is the only card that opens this like one safe or something.
yeah, that could work too. Yeah, yeah,
Something like that would be neat. So they're thinking of ideas because yeah, I do think we've kind of lost the like super rare item thing because a lot of the stuff you can't trade now, right? Like thick items cases and all of this stuff you can't put them on the flea. So a lot of the wow, look at all these cool things has sort of disappeared over the years
yeah. Because
for one
remember,
reason or
oh,
another.
man, the best, the pie back in my day, we had this like challenge where it was like, okay, we're gonna go unlock March Room, and like if we get a weapons case, we're not leaving the raid till one of us fills up the weapons case. And so that was like it was like high risk, high reward. It was a lot of fun. This was back before the weight system, so it was just like you could do that back when weapon cases spawn, and like that's a lot that's gone. Now it's just like. I don't even know what you get in there. Like Bitcoin maybe is like the most valuable thing. Like another March Room key. It's like another value. Like I don't know. You get 5 random guns now, like ammo. I don't know. It's kind of like whatever.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
another. It's just like any other room. It's not special.
For sure. For sure. So yeah, there's been lots of good discussion, I would say.
Yeah.
There's lots of and the devs sort of engaging on it as well, which is quite nice. So that is good. That is good. Couple of like random things
Mm-hmm.
then that I've noticed that are just like worthy of note. I was like trying to compile this, put them into a video or something, but never really worked out. There's just not really enough of this type. But obviously, in Algin painkillers don't have water on them, right? Like people are pretty well versed in this now, so you could just like use
Especially you.
them. Yeah, so I've just been like eating them like
Damn.
24/7, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. The green flower on customs is kind of fixed, so you can run
Oh.
down the side. I haven't tested it
Oh.
extensively, but you could. I haven't. I've not been brave enough to test it properly because I've always been in raid. But you can fire it up, and then you can like run down the side at least a bit. Don't quote me that you can go right to the edge, but you can at least go down the side a bit. I think they've like opened the banding box up, so you don't just
That's
like shoot
great.
it up and then run along, and then you go down the side, and then you get shot by the sniper, which is quite nice. There's also I forgot originally about the nut can. You probably can't. You might not be able to put it in your container, but you
I
can
haven't
put the nut
tried.
can.
I need to.
The nut can go in the secure. They might have forgotten for broken secure. You can put the nut can. I think you craft it in the. I don't think you can buy it. You have to craft it in the workbench. I think from a coffee and something else, and then you get the nut can, and it's the 3x3, and you can put bolts, screws, nuts, and nails in there. You can carry 9 of those items in one slot, which early wipe was really really useful. For anybody who's kind of like loot maxing, that's kind of handy. Yeah, that's about it really. And I think apparently you can unlock doors that are padlocked with a well-placed grenade if it is close enough to the door. So the one that's kind of annoying is the old gas one, which you can only because most of the padlocks you can only shoot from the correct side.
Yes.
You can apparently grenade over and unlock it that way. But I mean, you can just go around and jump over the wall. It's not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the padlocks. I keep forgetting in like certain rooms. I'm just like tick 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 tick. Boom, breach with my foot because I'm expecting it to open, but it's got padlock on it, and I'm just like not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's all going okay, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Things that issues and whatever as always with EFT, but broadly speaking, the game is in probably the best state it's been in for a while, just in terms of matchmaking and functionality and playability and questing and whatever.
Yeah, I
Like
would say
it's good. It's a good spot.
the actual launch of the wipe, I didn't have to wait in a queue. The launcher worked fine. The raids, I didn't get. Sometimes in your first raids of the wipe, you'll get disconnects and this that. I didn't have any issues like that. So as far as like actual stability and smoothness of the wipe, it's been very good, very good.
Yas. Anything else on EFT before we move on to some other topics?
No, I don't. No, I think that's it. That's it.
Cool. Okay, well, the next one, I guess, then is a little bit on Fragmentary order. Nikita's been teasing bits and pieces. He's shown some screenshots of Fragmentary order. You know what I'm going to say? You
It's
take
just
one
rocks.
glimpse at the screenshots. Well, is my assessment incorrect? is the question that I propose to you. I mean, at least there's a satellite dish in this one, but it's a satellite dish in a lot of rocks.
Blue Mars, Giga. Blue Mars.
Blue Mars. Yeah. The next one is at least a workshop,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. Some old
Okay.
vehicle. But then it kind of goes back to
Just rocks.
rock slop, unfortunately.
Hey, there's a
but it's like a
construction
cool tunnel.
stuff.
Yeah, there's something going on in here, which is kind of cool. So more Frago screenshots, says Mr. Nikita. He posted something 4 hours ago, and it's just fragmentary order really zoomed in. It just says meant order. It's clearly fragmentary order. So what that's about, I don't know. But I'm imagining there's some stuff coming soon. They actually did. So that this core game that I keep talking about, they actually did. Where is the update thing? Here it is. They actually did like a little, because they keep adding stuff to this. They've added this like news feed, and they said there's a new story coming every day. So it's like little things to do. So I can't remember where we left off last time. Were we building the drone? I think I was building a drone in fragmentary order when I last spoke to you, and it was going to cost nearly 1 million credits.
Okay.
And you get like somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 credits for doing each individual job. So as part of my Nikita chores, which is, I think this has led significantly led to the contribution of my declining mental state around Nikita's games and the experience that he provides. But anyway, I did build the drone, so we can now fly to Mars every so often. Occasionally, the drone just inexplicably blows up, despite the fact that you don't actually make any decisions, and then it just charges you 5,000 credits to fix it, and it's going to take an hour and a half. So that's the deal. So they're adding, basically they've added this new line, this quest line thing where there's like a news feed every day. So far there's been 2. First one was about like price upticks across the Mars sector, and then something else about some indie game that launched, which is really weird. But I think that it's all to do with like lore. And then there's these new conversations with the NPCs that have appeared where some files have been leaked or whatever, because like you're kind of being employed by somebody else. You're like being employed like in secret for someone else, even though you're working for another person. It's all very strange because you're on this like Mars base thing. So that's ongoing. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it's just like keep it on browsing on. Right now, there's not really much to it other than just a few bits and pieces of quest lines here and there. But hopefully, we'll actually get something sooner rather than later from him on this, because he started posting more about it on his Twitter page, like showing some of these screenshots and this like fragmentary order doodad. So we shall see. I think the big questions now remain just like, what's the gameplay actually going to be like? Like how much like Tarkov actually is it going to be, and how kind of like meta is it going to be? It's like on a scale from Tarkov to Eve, where is this game going to sit, or is it going to sit in between? Like, are you supposed to kind of just be like a grunt, or are you supposed to be, doing like international trade through the solar system to do stuff on a grand scale? That's the main thing for me. I don't know. I really don't know. So I will let you know as this new quest line appears. They put tower defense back in the game as well, though. I haven't yet to retry that out. I haven't had enough time to check it out. But what else did they say? They said something here. The feeds have come alive. Blah blah blah. I think you can play. I think you might be able to play it on mobile. I haven't actually checked that. So you could like do the daily quest while you're on the toilet, maybe, rather save a bit of your sanity. And then there's a new story. It says new story lands every day in the news feed or on the forums. Nothing disappears. Miss a day and it's still there when you come back. That's unlike these games usually are. Threads carry the people arguing in them, not just the opening post. Some are a 5-minute read. Others hand you a file, a name, and an address, and let you go looking. Where a trail leads somewhere real, you can pull what is the end of it and keep it. Not every thread leads to something you can act on. Some of it is just the world talking, and that's the point. How it reads: leaked papers and photographs now look like papers and photographs instead of a wall of text. The same text no longer repeats underneath the picture that already shows it. Articles carry the name of whoever wrote it, so you can look the person up. So there's like, because there's an in-game like bio kind of, well, the equivalent of like the yellow pages, so that you can like look up people in game, like the NPCs, and like everybody's got like a bio, a profile. You can look because everyone's on this like core database. Like honestly, it feels like this is going to be like actually part of the game because they've like invested a lot of time like building these systems into this like weird web browser game. It's like it's very curious. It really is very curious. Ay. I don't know. I don't really know. So yeah, keeping on, keeping on with that, keeping on getting my what even was it? Pack of old cigarettes, Space Monkey loot, so I can eventually not use it because you need 15 of them or something stupid.
Hmm.
I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, Wardogs.
Oh, Wardogs. Oh, yeah. I'm so freaking like God. I've been watching these random YouTubers play Wardogs just like in the background, just so I can like like feel like I'm a part of something. I will say the one that was really enjoyed a lot from the YouTuber a lot because you got like your Jack Frags, I guess another big one is Tomographic, who is the one I'm going to mention.
Mm-hmm.
They did like a cool little like montage intro to their thing, and then after the montage intro, they did like a 5 minute explanation. Pretty, fairly. I thought it was a fairly well put together thing, and then it cut to like, all right, here's like a bunch of clips of me and my mates playing the game, and like it just looks like so much fun. You know what I mean? It's like you get to have a laugh, and then you get to like play this like little economy mini game, and you're just
Yeah.
kind of with your friends, and it's like, oh yeah, I bet I can, make 5K off this kit, and it's like, no, you can't. It's like, yeah, well, Rex the helicopter. You know what I mean? It's just like this is I don't know. It just looks like raw fun. So I think it's supposed to have. So I went ahead and bought the game, pre-ordered it. I don't usually do that, but like I just know I'm gonna play it and like it most likely. We'll see. It could be wrong, but because you do get like a little discount for pre-ordering. Do you remember that? I don't think we talked about it. So like over the past couple of weeks, they did like another video. I mean, they're constantly pumping out videos. I feel like, and I would say like they're probably the strongest thing, and also the most like makes me the most uneasiest thing about this company is like their marketing because I feel like they do a really like someone has worked in sales for a long time because my God, they just like they do it. It's an interesting approach because it's kind of like a docu style where they're like talking to developers, but they're using a lot of like you know verbiage and wordage but it feels very genuine at the same time. Like I believe them when they say they want to make a game for them that they've always wanted to make it like their dream game, and like I feel like you can see that in the product because it feels like it pulls from a little bit of everything, a little bit of Battlefield, a little bit of
Mm.
Squad. You got like the economy, which for me reminds me of like Tarkov a bit. And you can loot stuff, which is kind of different versus some of your more like maybe in like
Yeah.
Battlefield you could like loot kits, but Battlefield's been kind of weird. Sometimes you would have to like swap kits basically. Like you couldn't just loot a gun off a player. So it feels like it's pulling a little bit of everything. So I really do believe a lot of them are very genuine. And like I think the latest trailer they put was like 10 reasons to not buy Wardogs, and I was like, whoa, that's a bold move there. You know what I mean? Let's see what this is about. And it's like, it is a little bit of like a sales pitch, reasons to buy Tarkov or buy War Dog, and it's like yeah, we're making the game in early access, which means they got like the British. Like, it's like I'm so jealous of Brits and Aussies. They got like such cool accents. I got the stupid Chungus American accent. Anyways, it's like he's talking about how you know one reason to buy is because we or not to buy is because we're it's in early access. It's not going to be a shit product, but it's going to have we're going to be utilizing the early access phase to sort of like build the game with the community. So and it's like you're not going to have this content drop. But like part of it is like, but they're acknowledging like, so we're gonna discount the price. So it's like also a reason to buy the games because it's like discounted. Like I feel like it's pretty clever. I think this game it comes out on like September 10th. I think it is, if I'm not mistaken, when it launches from early access, like into early access. And I don't know. I think this game's gonna be pretty bonkers for a little bit. Like it may not be like I don't know. It might be like up there with Arc Raiders in terms of like concurrent player count, like 300K. I think they're probably going to sell 1 million in their first week if they already don't reach that in pre-orders. Like I don't know. I just personally feel like what's there is going to be fun, and it may not be like this super. They may have a little situation where they bit off more they can chew. That could be a reality. Because one thing I didn't know about in this, 10 Reasons to Not Buy Wardogs, they talked about how they were actually publishers slash developers. I think it was more like developers for the game called Bastillion. I think it was called, which was like a 5v5, World War II competitive shooter type of like Call of Duty, and you plant the bomb type of gameplay. But it was like set in World War II, and I was like, oh, I do remember them playing. I remember watching Shroud play that game, and I never really was interested in it because it looked a little, bit like it was. Well, it's set a couple generations back. Like, oh, I've already seen this type of thing before, and they're like, yeah, we had some issues with the publisher, and we kind of just like stopped developing the game, and it was just this big deal. And it's like, but we learned a lot from that, and we wanted, and they had to like close the game servers. I was like, okay, well, that I appreciate a lot. I feel like there's a certain amount of like genuine, passion and authenticity from the developers. But at the end of the day, they are trying to make a living off this, so I can appreciate where they're coming from, and I don't know, I think this game is going to be really fun, especially for me, because it's like it's for me, it's such a unique place in the market where right now in video games, I feel like we're in this weird place where in this like live service space with, because we have these single player games like Resident Evil Requiem that like get the highest ever Metacritic rating in history or whatever, and they sell tons of copies, and those are great. Everyone knows they're great games, Elden Ring, God of War, whatever. It's like, but they're like blockbuster, I mean, it's like a Hollywood movie,
Yeah.
and like not every game studio can do that, can push out these, you know, huge story single player games. Then you got these other games which are like live service, like platforms, and they're like kind of engineered to like suck your soul out of you. You know what I mean? It's like a kind of like Tarkov. It's like a second job. It's like I've been watching a lot of this guy. I'll see if I can find the YouTube name of his channel, but he does like video game documentaries. He calls them, and they're basically going over, you know, video games live service that have like come and gone. Like Anthem is probably one that you heard of. Like that game was like really hyped up, and like it came and it crashed. I mean, I remember seeing Anthem talked about and showcased, and I was like, this game does not look like it's for me. But I know some people like the looter shooter stuff. But this person is called. Let me get my screen set up here. Close this back out. Nevvox. I'm saying that right. They have a British accent, so the documentary style commentary coming through. It's just like it's so peak. Like God, it's just like it's literally a life hack. And I think the editing's pretty solid, and I really like the music he uses. I'm going a little bit off track, but he kind of goes through the history, pulls sources and throws them up on screen, and I appreciate the work. I wouldn't say I feel like it's a pretty decent. I feel like some of this style of content is like, okay, what's like a big polarizing thing that I can just like produce and make slop and get a lot of views, and I feel like there's a fair amount of good effort put in here, and that it's and you get to learn like a lot of this. I mean, there's stuff about Sim Cities, Civilization, all these games that like had these controversies, issues. Sometimes there's like success stories like Resident Evil, Requiem, and stuff. So it's got a good bag. But anyways, been watching a lot of his backlog, and just like wow, it's like some of these live service games I didn't even really know about. Like they weren't really on my radar, and it's like the problems they went through and like the decisions. Like Blizzard, I mean, I kind of knew Blizzard would ship, but like God, they are like awful. Like the modern S Blizzard is just like they are like evil incarnate. It's like how can we milk dry our players' bank accounts and make it's like a,
what is that like Diablo? What was
Immortal
the mobile one they made?
Was
like
it
Immortal?
Immortal?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean that was That was awful.
Stuff like that, yeah.
And like, yeah. So, nevertheless, jumping back to how this ties into War Dogs. Well, I feel like where War Dogs sits, you have your sort of like, because for me, one of the problems I have with getting into any game is like, is it going to hold my attention? Because like a game like, you know, especially with someone like me, I like these games that have a certain amount of like tension to them. Ever since like playing, like really what started it was like the survival genre of like Rust. So like if I play, and a little bit like Dota 2, you know what I mean? It's like I need that tension in the
Mm.
match where it's like just playing the game isn't enough. I need like some other system, like whether it's rank or some meta progression type of thing where I need some stakes involved. And I feel like with War Dogs, it's not like COD where my brain's turned off. Because like sometimes I'm in the mood for like a game like that. Like I don't really want any stakes. I just want to like play and turn my brain off and just go on autopilot. But sometimes, a lot of times I do want the stakes where it's like, I feel like my time is, I get to like invest that depth and really sink my teeth into the product. And so I feel like with War Dogs, you get a nice middle ground where your life matters and like you having to do logistics to get back to the objective is like a part of the stakes, but it's
Yeah.
also casual enough where like the mechanics aren't so crazy in depth that I have to pull up a wiki page just to play the video game. You know what I mean? I don't have to sit there and watch a 1 hour YouTube series on how to get good at this game. So I feel like for me personally, this is going to be a great middle ground between that tension and depth and just the easeability to be able to play the game and have some fun in it.
Yeah, I mean, I played 4 hours of the previous test,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know, I think it's interesting. I've been petitioning at the LAN for my friends to play it. We're the exact target audience for this game. So I think I've basically got a bunch of people who are going to pre-order it. We're going to play it this weekend. So we'll see how it goes with us. It does. I mean, it certainly seems interesting. I don't know whether it's going to trip over itself mechanically a little bit, and on in terms of the progression. I think that's always the thing that's hard. It's like all these games are going to be great and fun while you're learning mechanics, figuring out what to do, strategizing, understanding the map, learning how the progression system works, etc., etc. But then once you're like 50 hours in, that's when it really
Mm-hmm.
you can really then tell, like, am I just doing the same thing over and over? Is there something else to go for? Is there more interesting stuff? Is there enough like skill ceiling effectively on just decision making in this game, or is it just the same thing over and over again? So we'll see. I mean, my favorite thing about the whole game in general is that it breaks past that like usual armor and squad problem of, and I've said this before to other people. Like, I've never flown the chopper in squad ever. I played quite a bit of
Oh,
squad, and I've
really?
never ever flown it because unless you're like already a competent pilot, you're just not allowed because the squad is like top down, right? And the commanders are then talking to the squad
No,
leaders, and
yeah.
if you haven't flown before, there's no way to practice
Mm-hmm.
because you're just like they want to win the game, so you never get an opportunity. Whereas War Dogs like breaks this cycle because if you want to fly the heli, you just save up your money and buy one, and then you get to play around with it because you bought it. It's yours. It's your chopper, which is like kind of cool, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like if you want to mess about and play a tank, then you just get to buy one and use it. It's not just like, oh, who gets to sit in the tank all game, and it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
clan at the top of the leaderboard because it's their server or whatever. Like you won't get that experience quite often with these other games. It feels a lot more like democratic in that sense, or at least
Mm.
like I guess like flat, like a meritocratic flat experience rather than just like, are you part of the the server owners like group
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you only get to use like the best stuff. It's like, no, you can do these other things. And I do like the fact that there's like multiple ways to kind of like win the game because you get money for piloting, you get money for kills, you get money for piloting people into a good place and them getting kills. You get money for building stuff. You get, and it's just like,
But see, that's
and
the
you can play like builder archetype. You can play like behind the line enemy lines, but archetype. You can even just go and like spot people with binoculars to make money and have other people kill them, kind of thing, as a
I
recon.
I
It's
think
neat.
I think this is a really fascinating aspect of it is the there's like the making money side and there's like actually winning the game, which the goal I think is like you doing things that will help your team will make you money, and because you're helping your team, therefore you're more likely to win the game. I think that's the idea. But I think it's gonna be interesting how people sort of defer to one priority or the other. Like, I don't really care about winning, so I'm not gonna do the most optimal thing that's gonna help me win the game. I'm gonna do the most optimal thing that make me money for like the next
Yeah,
features. I think that's gonna be very interesting how that interacts and whatnot.
for sure. For sure. No, it's gonna be super interesting. I don't know whether the I'm making money for my own account and that persists through the matches is going to trip over the I also would like to help my team actually win the game, because I played some games that were really fun.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I only played 4 hours, so I didn't get involved in everything. I did mostly just like, and I did it all solo as well. So it's like solo, just like going in and killing people. So I did like a bit snipey, a bit assault rifle-y. I didn't really do any building particularly, or any like flying of vehicles or anything like that. I drove one of the vehicles once because there weren't any heli pilots. So I bought a little just like tiny little quad bike and drove to the front lines. It took ages actually. It took quite a long time. Probably 5 or 6 minutes, I would say, to get to the front line on a little quad bike. It's a lot faster in the chopper, obviously.
Yeah.
Getting chopped off in the chopper was cool because the pilots have stakes because they bought the vehicle, so they want to make their money back. So they want to like drop you off. So
Sure.
they want to drop you off in a good place because they're incentivized to. Because if they kill you, I think they might lose money if you like die in the air. I'm not sure.
Oh.
But also they get money for the kills that you make for like a period of time after you've dropped them off. So they
Yeah.
want to put you in a good spot. And because people just pay for like the cheapest, it's like the little bird. They pay for like the cheapest one. There's like no armor on this thing, so you're like hot dropping in. You've got some like, I mean, especially on EU servers, you've got some French guy like shouting at you, just like, "Everybody get out now!" Like, you need to get out right now. Everybody, out you get, go. We need to go, get out. Just like you got like continental Europeans shouting at you through VoIP to like get out of his alley because he's literally taking back off because they're just gonna get shot down otherwise.
Mm.
So it kind of adds that like nice stakes. It's like it's their chopper specifically as opposed to like just the team's helicopter. So like kind of cool. Like they're trying to make the money back by piloting as well. It's so there's that, which is awesome. But then there's like, because you can just make money doing random things as well. The way that you win the game, so you need to get 100 points. If I think it's 100, and you get a point every time. Let me wheel back a little bit.
It's okay.
So there's two zones. So the map is massive, and there's 3 faction bases. The zone, or like the King of the Hill ring, appears somewhere on that map. So it's a different section of a different cross section of that map each time. There's 2 King of the Hill zones. There's the main one, which is basically just like the play area, pretty much. So you get flown into the play area. And then there's a secondary zone called the hot zone, which is like a teeny little circle. It's really not very big at all. If you're stood in the main zone, that counts as 1 point for your team, or like 1 token, I guess, of 1 player token. If you're in the hot zone, you get a second player token. The game adds up all of the players within, or all the sort of player tokens together, and whichever team has the most tokens on a 30-second cycle, every 30 seconds, that team will then get 1 point. So basically, like, imagine like the 3 teams are in there. Let's say you've got like 20 people in the zone. One team has, so there's 20 people each. One team has 10 people in the hot zone as well. The 2 other teams will have 20 counters, and the one team in the hot zone will have 30 counters because they get the extra for the people in the hot zone. When the 30-second timer, you can actually see it. If anybody's on video, you can see it in the bottom left under the map. So when that fills up, and that just above it, you can see the number of people within the zone above it. Whoever's got the most number in there, when the timer hits the 30 seconds, they get a point.
Interesting.
Now, that's 30 seconds, so it's actually really, really long.
Mm-hmm.
So you can technically get, maybe it was 80. I can't. It was either 80 or 100. But you can imagine, even imagine it was 80 for a second. The teams can all technically get to 79 each, and then 1 point wins the game. So that's like 237 points. I feel like it is 80. And so that's 118, or maybe I think it might be 100 actually. I think it's 100. So you can get 99 plus 99 plus 99 plus 1. That's the theoretical like map limit. So that's 149 minutes. So the games can be like 2.5 hours long. Or maybe it was 80. Anyway, the games can basically end up being like 2 hours long. You don't need to be there for the whole game, I don't think. But I actually do think that the games being that long is a bit of a problem. Like obviously you could win you can technically win in, I think it's 40 minutes is the minimum if one team wins all the points, but it's like it's very unlikely for a game to be under an hour.
Oh, interesting.
Which I
I
did.
didn't know
I was
that.
a bit like, oh, okay, and like you can still leave, that's fine, but I
Mhm.
don't, and I can't remember how much of a bonus you get for like finishing the game. I
Yeah.
forget.
Huh.
But yeah, so people are like, some people like don't even care about the win because they're not even going to be there at the end. So they're just there to like make as much money as they can for their own account. And I played one match where we did end up winning,
Yeah.
and we had two guys who knew what they were doing. You can't spawn you can't spawn on the map unless that there's fobs and building and stuff, but that's got nothing to do with spawning. There's a vehicle with a radar on it. You can spawn on the radar vehicle once every
Mhm.
10 minutes because they really want to limit people just like insta respawning into the zone. But you can drive the vehicle in and you can park it. Usually people park it in a fob, which is why it's confusing because you think you're respawning at the fob, but you're not. You're respawning at the vehicle. And every 10 minutes you can respawn there. One guy drove the vehicle in, the other guy drove a tank in, and we had like probably 30 of us in the hot zone. And the enemy team just never came to contest. And I was making, because you make double money in the hot zone, I made tons of cash, and we won the game, and I was bored out of my mind.
Mm.
There wasn't anyone to fight. We just like the hot zone moves around. We just wandered around in the hot zone with like two
That's
vehicles,
super
and there wasn't
interesting.
anything to do. I was like, huh. So like the incentives in the game, I think sometimes I think it might change as well because people still don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And as people get more money, they're gonna then want to spend that to actually like go and fight people rather than just like messing about doing whatever they're doing. But I'm interested to see how the emergent player behavior comes out of this and
Yes.
whether they need to incentivize the hot zone more. Because I feel at the moment like just doubling the income is not enough. Because in the hot zone, usually in the other games I played, if you're in the hot zone, you just die and then you have to buy another kit, and it's actually not worth being in the hot zone most of the time.
Mm.
It's like being in the middle of Sawmill onwards. No one goes in. Everyone's around the outside. Anybody who steps inside dies. And doubling your income doesn't pay the kit back, so no one goes in the hot zone. So I think they do need to do some balancing. But so I do think those two goals are a little interesting. It's like one side, it's like win the match, but the match is so long. A lot of people end up just going, well, I'll just make money for myself and just don't care about
Yeah.
the hot zone,
Yeah.
don't care about killing the enemy. They're just like doing the thing that min maxes the amount of money, either doing piloting or whatever else.
Yeah, because if
I'm
I
not sure.
join the match midway through and it's like one team is dominating, like I'm not super incentivized to try to win the game. I mean, maybe I as an individual might be, but I don't know. It's I think this is probably the most important part for them is this big, larger alpha test, beta test, whatever they're calling it, because when you're in house, you know, testing the game that you're building, you know, most of your team probably knows the general idea of the game that you're trying to make. So most people are probably playing the game a certain way. Whereas when you just open it to the masses, you know, people don't know how to play the game. They don't even know exactly what the game is. You told them what it is, but they don't know every intricacy of, or maybe not even every intricacy. They don't know like particular systems that they've worked on because they've never worked on the game before. So you know what I mean. They're learning as they go, and they're trying to figure stuff out. So it's like you just have this mass people experimenting, and this is where you lead to like goofy, crazy, unexpected, unintended, player behavior and whatnot. So I could see the chaos unraveling a bit, and it ultimately leading to like stale or uninteresting gameplay, which would be, not ideal. So that's super interesting about the experience you had. Like you were just, it was like boring because you were winning so much, making money. That's interesting.
Yeah, they weren't even coming to contest, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's also really weird. So there's a lot of stuff that just isn't explained. Maybe it'll change a bit. I was very confused as to really what I should be doing
Hmm.
because when I showed up, people weren't really doing anything in particular. Which usually in these games there's a very well-defined front line, but I think because there's three teams, it makes it a bit confused, and
Mm.
also it's not very obvious. One thing I do very much disagree with, and we'll see whether it changes, and it will only matter for a bit when we play. But I personally feel like some of the things that are absolutely required for that particular like character archetype, because there's not classes per se, but there There are
Suggestions.
there kind of are classes behind the scenes. It's like pick your own adventure class type thing. So it's not like, oh, you pick engineer and then you can only pick from these loadouts. It's like you can buy whatever you like, but there's like weight limits and things like that which kind of set the restrictions. But the main thing that you're restricted by at the beginning is how much you're leveled within that class. So you can buy anything from any class on any character. So your character could just be piecemeal other stuff, but you only unlock things from the tree of the thing you're doing by doing stuff for that tree. And I really struggled because a lot of these things unlock at level 5, which isn't very far in, but some of them are much harder to unlock than others. So like Assault level 5 is easy, you just go and kill people. Recon level 5, you kind of snipe people and do spotting with targets and whatever. And I saw people saying like, okay, yeah, because you only have like a break action sniper as recon first off. It's hard to kill anyone. So a lot of people I've seen around, because I was looking for ways to like circumvent this basically, were saying, well, you just bring the binoculars and you spot people and that will give you recon XP and then you'll basically get a better gun later. But it's like, couldn't we just start with like a better gun? Like there's this sort of, they've got like a weird approach to like, oh, you have to do like this boring thing before you unlock something better right at the beginning of the game, which I feel is actually it's a really shitty new player experience personally, right? And like the original, like the basic free assault rifle is like semi-auto or whatever, but that's okay because it's free. But you can't even buy a good sniper rifle at the beginning, like not even one that's like remotely semi-auto or anything. It's just like, it just break action and it sucks. Then the other two are even worse. So engineer, I'm just like, oh, so they've got a tank and it's just like standing on our stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm not allowed to buy an RPG until level 5 support. I was just like, oh god, that's really lame. Can I buy an LMG? No, that's also locked higher than this. Okay, fine. So what can I buy as an engineer, or from the engineer class line? The shotgun. So you get support, and it does tell you what gives you what XP. But I'm like, okay, so I have to get kills. I mean, just look at what's on screen right now. You have to get kills with the shotgun in like that environment. It's just like, it's just not going to happen. It just isn't going to. And I tried a couple of times, right? It's just impossible because people are just 4-timesing you from, it's just insane, right? And the other thing you get for dealing with tanks is an IED, which for a start I couldn't actually work out how to even use it. So it just appears in your inventory. It's just a mobile phone. And I was like, okay, can I scroll to the bomb? Is this the device? Like, I was like looking at, I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? Press the button. Nothing's happening. There's no menu. There's no inventory for it. I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? I ended up going on the Discord, like genuinely, because there's no guides right now for this game. One reason why I think I might do some, but there's no guides at all. And I had to go to the Discord and be like, guys, how do you use the IED? People are like, oh, look at the floor. And when you look down, there's like a green outline of where you might put this thing. But like with the mobile phone, I think I just didn't like that at all. But I was like, okay, so I have to like basically dick about in CQB with a tank and a shotgun to get support. Like there's no other way to get support leveled up other than like repairing vehicles. So I have to just wait for a vehicle to get hit with an RPG and then repair it with my spanner in the middle of like the battlefield. And I'm going to get like a tiny bit of XP every time. I think I got to level 3. I never even got the RPG in the hours that I played. And I was trying. So I'm just like, man, it's like required. Like you need to give somebody something. Like just make it not very good or whatever. But just like you need the ability to go and do anti-tank. Like it's just like, oh no, go and do this other thing to go get AT. I just don't like it. And then medic was like, okay. I think you could bring in this thing. There's like 3 levels of like rezzing people off the floor. They've got this really weird animation, which I assume that they're intending to replace, where you just go over the top of them, and it takes like 20 seconds. It's really odd, and that's how you get your players back up. Then there's like a oxygen mask, which you can buy as medic at the beginning, which gets them up quicker, so that's fine. And then there's a defib, but that's a later unlock. I didn't mind that so much because it's like, okay, you can buy the mask, that's fine. It's the bad one, but it's the one you buy at the start, and then you progress, you do the thing, and then you progress, and you get the better one later. That's okay, but it's not like a completely different set of gameplay. But you don't get the smoke grenade until level 5, and I'm like, well, how am I supposed to go out and get the teammate when I don't? I just feel like there's critical pieces of the equipment that the game locks you down to something a relatively insignificant level amount. But without that, it makes it very hard to do the job to actually get to the level lock, even though it's quite low. It's like getting the XP for that category is actually really quite hard because you don't have critical things that you need to actually do the job. So like I really didn't like that at all. I disagreed with that very strongly. But that's going to go after about 10 hours. That's going to go away because you're going to be level 5 on each tree, and it won't matter anymore. But it's just like I was like, nah, this is bad. There's going to be a better way of doing this, surely.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a little combination thing. Sounds like a little bit. It's almost like a wipe type of experience where you start with like P.A.K.A and MP5, but like you but you're Except it's a little different where you're trying to like play a role. Like I think the sniper one's a good example because I remember watching a video and they were like, "I'm gonna give you some tips on how to level." These particular, I'm just gonna give you some tips, and they rattled off. And one of them was like, okay, so if you played a recon, don't use the bolt action rifle. Instead, use the binoculars and scout with it. And that's like, as you say, kind of unintuitive for it's sort of that emergent player behavior. It's something that they devs may want to like iron out, balance, and tweak out because like you're saying, you're trying to do the thing that the quote unquote. It's like you're faced there at the battlefield screen. You pick your class, and it's like how you level your class. Okay, I got to do the things, but it's like, oh, but you don't have the equipment to do those things effectively, so you got to do this like more ambiguous, not super obvious route. That's actually worth your time more than trying to snipe with a bolt break action rifle. So like I see where
Yeah.
you're coming from for sure.
I think support especially, it's like most people were like, it's really hard to get support XP. So the best thing that the best thing you're worthwhile doing is just going to somebody else's fob and just building random crap. And I'm
Which
like,
isn't
I want to
really
shoot tanks though.
helpful.
It's not helping the team.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look,
I'm just
guys.
going to build random junk using resources.
Yeah.
And I want to be killing tanks. I don't want to be like Bob the Builder around the fob. That's not like I probably will do that at some point.
It'd be very
But
interesting.
it's like I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, there's all sorts of other stuff later on that I haven't even touched on, which is like the whole base thing. So the bases are really strong. On the map, there's like 4 towers that people just like camp around. This is why I was partly confused because the game doesn't explain anything about like the towers. It doesn't explain anything about the buildings. It doesn't explain anything about the drill. It doesn't explain anything about any of this stuff. It doesn't really explain about the respawn vehicle. Maybe it will be more obvious now that I've played it to go back and like go through the tutorial because most of the tutorials like here's how you throw a grenade. Here's how you and the tutorial's genuinely funny by the way. Like there's one part where you have to. It's the classic thing of like get the grenade through the window, and it's like every game's different. So it's like how you don't know you got it's a bit of trial and error, right? And like eventually you'll get to grips with it. But the guy who's like on the voiceover, it's just like get the grenade through the window. And you like throw it. Never to be the first time it like bounces too low or whatever, and they're just like, try again. We're gonna be here all day. And it's this like gruff like British soldier voice first. Like it's genuinely it did make me laugh. But yeah, but it doesn't explain really anything about the actual battlefield I found. And so when I ended up going in, I was just like, what's everybody doing? Why are people building around these towers? Like, what is even going on here? Like, it was just really, really strange. And the front line was like really odd. But yeah, the towers, there's 4 towers on the map, and people just like camp in those for the most of the game. It's just like they're just filled with snipers, just camping around the towers because they're like got a huge vision over the whole map. People fight over them a lot. You can see one here. This is one of them. There's 4 towers. Each tower has one piece of a code in it. And if you tap the full code into one of the tower terminals, it brings the hot zone to the tower. It doesn't explain this anywhere. I had to glean this from basically like podcasts and other people's YouTube videos who'd played more of the playtest than I did. So I was like, okay. And then there's a building called the drill. Like you can basically build this drill. I don't know how many resources it takes or what else you need around it. You have to like do all this stuff, basically fortify position, then put this drill in. And when you drill, it brings the hot zone to you again. So you can basically make this huge fort and then bring the hot zone over and have your whole team stand in it and get loads of money. But there's also artillery, so you can counter other people's bases and fobs with artillery, but you've also got to build that up one of your own things. So I think there's going to be this like meta game of like where your fobs are, how you build artillery, like figuring out where their fob is and like bombarding it from afar. I've not seen anyone use arty, so I'm not sure exactly how hard it is to use. I've been on the receiving end and it is pretty brutal. But I'm not sure how easy it is or difficult it is to target. I'm not sure. But it's like, yeah, there's definitely some interesting stuff going on here. I need to engage with it a bit more. I just tried to do like basic foot soldier stuff to begin with. And yeah, my experience was like very varied from like being behind enemy lines, which works superbly well because you can go anywhere in the zone. You can be outside the zone, so you can drive all the way around and then come in from the back and be like in a building and just be killing people. So that works really well. You can scavenge kits off other people. So if they've got like good gear, you can like kill a sniper and just take his whole loadout, which is really cool, and like keep various things. It's I find the buying UI is a bit janky, but you get used to it fairly quickly. It's not that intuitive. It's like a bit strange. But the game just basically like leads you through it to begin with. It's just like press this, press that, press the other, and you're just like, I don't really know what I'm clicking, but it's doing what I need to. And then when you actually get into it, it's like, okay, I kind of see. It's like it's because you can bring ammo with you. Your mags do need loading, but ammo takes like a huge block of your storage space. It's like ammo is like 2x1. It's like the same size as the mag. and the free rig is only 3 2x1s, I think. So it's like 2 mags and the bullets. That's your full. So that's no bandages. So then you need like 1 mag spare and ammo, or no ammo and just 2 mags, and then bandages to heal yourself. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but the amount of kit is crazy. Like you can buy these like huge bags. They've got a weight system which is like threshold based, but you can build like a massive bag with like 3 rocket launchers in it technically at the end and all sorts. But obviously that costs more money. It's going to be interesting to see how it like plays through once you get a bit more progression. So like I'm looking forward to it. As I said, I only got to play 4 hours, which is a shame. But I mean, I did find most of that first 4 hours like quite confusing and just like figuring out what on earth is going. So like you can see what he's just like wandering around. Like it just doesn't look like Battlefield, does it? It's just like people just like wandering around in towers. When I spawned in, I was just like, "What is going on?" And I think so. And also, it's not obvious at first that there's no spawn into the zone mechanic outside of that weird radar vehicle. And when I joined a game that was already in progress, the game didn't make much sense because the radar vehicle was already out there.
Yeah.
And so I was just wandering around. I'm like, okay, well, there's a vendor guy. Okay, well, I'll buy a basic gun, fine. And then I'm like wandering around. I'm like, well, how do I get to the map? Like, how do I even get there? I'm like, well, there's no helicopters or anything. Like, I didn't even know how to buy one. So there's a screen. So I pressed the screen. It said, oh, you can respawn. And I'm like, okay. So I just like press respawn. And then I'm just like in a vehicle. I'm just like in the back of a truck. I'm like, okay. So they got out and I'm just like, oh, I'm just like by this tower. And there's people just like milling about. There's like really no clear objective. I look, the hot zone's like nowhere near us. I'm like, what is everybody actually doing? Like, what are we supposed to do here? So it's when you first show up, it's very confusing. I will say. It's very confusing what you're supposed to be doing, especially if you've not played like Armor or like whatever it's called previously. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Squad. I mean, I've played a bit of Squad, but I don't know. Even still, I think Armor's like even more like free flowing than this.
Yeah,
because Squad you respawn on these like beacons, these like squad beacons and stuff, and then you get the squad beacon destroyed, and then that's how you like break the enemy spawn point. Whereas in this game, so you have to spawn on that vehicle, but they didn't make it. It doesn't make it obvious that that's where you're going to go. And it's to do with the vehicle and not the fob. So a lot of people think you spawn in on the fob, but it's because people park the vehicle in the fob because it's the safest place to keep it because it's fortified. But the game doesn't explain any of this, and you just have to figure it out. So
yeah, it's going to be a mess early on. They have a lot of work to do in terms of player education because I feel like they've like
I think so
mentioned some of these bigger things in like trailers and stuff, but they probably have like 50 trailers at this point. Like they I want to see
it's
now.
people doing like end game stuff, like using rocket launchers to blow up helicopters and stuff like this, which obviously is really cool. But like you can't do that at level 1 even. So you then have to you have to do things that the game hasn't explicitly told you, which is like work out what levels up support. The game does not tell you this. You have to just read all the tooltips, which is fine. I mean, that's part of the experience. But I would say there's a lot about the game. So I played for 4 hours, and a lot of the game I was just like, I'm fed up with this because there's not really any description or there's no YouTube videos about it really. And some of them are in Russian. So I ended up like I made a text file, and I took like I don't even know, like I think I took 10 hours of podcasts, like YouTube streams, recaps, whatever of transcripts, and I fed them all to ChatGPT, and I just said, "What the hell is going on here? Like, can you?" Because I was just like, I'm not going to watch like 3 hours of someone streaming Wardogs to figure out like some small mechanics where they talked at 2 hours and 17 minutes about like the drilling mechanic, because like the information is super unstructured at the moment, and there's people who've played like 40 hours of the playtest, but nobody's really making. Those are the people who don't really make educational YouTube videos. So like it's all embedded within streams and stuff. It's impossible to like find out this information. So I just like fed it this huge text document. It was just like, can you just sort out what's going on here and just like tell me the key points of this, like what's interesting. It's just like went back, like tried to figure that out. So yeah, that was like figuring out like because once you've got a reference for it, it's like then you can kind of look it up and go like, oh, like tower codes and stuff. And then you look up the tower codes, and it's like, oh, now there's people talking about it, maybe on the Discord or whatever else. But if you don't even know what to look for, it makes it impossible to find out anything. So yeah, I found out a lot of that stuff after the playtest. Once I kind of I'd played it enough to sort of get to grips with kind of vaguely the structure of the game. And now it's like filling in all of the details. I've got like a very loose wireframe. But yeah. It's it's gonna be fun. There's a lot to it.
Are you playing? Did you say if you bought it? Did you end up buying pre-ordering?
I have.
You're gonna play,
and I'm trying to play
today?
with a bunch of friends. I'm probably not gonna play on stream, but I'm gonna play with a bunch of buddies tonight.
Cool. I'm curious. I'm curious how that's gonna go because you played solo the first time, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better with people, is my understanding.
That's what I'm
from
thinking.
watching
And
other people.
I don't know if any of my friends are playing it. I have to message Kelsey and see. I don't know if she bought it or not. I haven't seen her in a little bit. I think she's been taking a break from the wipe. But
Too bludgeoned.
yeah, just not really feeling it, or just busy with life stuff. You know how it is. So we'll see. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, should be cool.
We'll see how that goes. I'm curious what you and I experienced over the weekend. We'll compare notes next week, hopefully.
Yeah, we will see. It's yeah, I'm gonna try and play like every night for the next like 3 nights because I think it's on from. To be honest, it's in about an hour and a half's time.
Yeah.
I think until Monday morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and the boys are gonna get on it. I think there's a group. There's probably about 4 or 5 of us. I think not everybody's gonna play it, but it's like we're checking it out.
Cool.
Seeing what the deal is.
I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm super curious to see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And it's quite nice actually starting with that. Like I only know a bit more than they do. We're all kind of in it at the same time. Yeah, we'll see. We will see.
Anything else before we wrap up, Giga?
No, I think that's pretty much it for me. I was doing some testing about stamina in game, but I realized I couldn't win. I was intrigued because I used Trimadol for the first time with my buff, and you basically just don't drain stamina. So it got me thinking, like, what actually is our stamina pool? And I was like musing about this, and I tried to work it out yesterday, and I was like, well, all we have to do is run around with an S36, then run around with this, and it's just like, oh, but then how does the seasonal one interact with the endurance thing? It's just like, okay, well, we'll just do it in regular thing, off seasonal. So I did it, and was just like, okay. I was like, oh, but hang on a second. I went to go and check the endurance thing, and I was like, wait, no, but Trimadol gives you 10 more endurance, which gives you like another 10% stamina. I'm like, how does that interact? I was just like, oh man, this is like actually not as easy. It's like there's multiple factors to this, so I'm sort of tentatively looking into that. That's probably the next thing. I'm just thinking about it. I just want to know, like, what is our stamina pool at base?
Yeah.
And what is our stamina drain rate? I suspect it's 100, and I suspect our stamina drain rate is 4. That is my suspicion. It's something close to that, I believe. But it's tricky because then it's like on seasonal, my stamina would then be 110, I think. But then I've also got youth, so it's another 10, and then my stamina drains by 20% slower. So it's like it's all compounded over the top of itself.
So it's 3. Your stamina drained by 3 now.
Or it'll be.
And you have 120 stamina.
Times 0.8. It'd be 3.2. And the reason why I thought about this, Trimadol does drain my stamina, but barely. So, and we know Trimadol is +3. So I was like, the stamina drain now must be close to 3. It's got to be just above. It's got to be 3.2 or something like that. And I put 3.2 in, and I was like, okay, what if you reverse engineer 3.2 and add 20% back? Well, that gets you to exactly 4. So I was like, oh, maybe it's 4. But then I was like, oh no, but that's only true. Well, it kind of looks like that actually. But then there's also an easy way of doing it. I think maybe we could just like eyeball it without doing any mathematics, because a lot of the stims give you both. If you can work out like the stamina increase, and they give you like a flat amount of stamina, and you know, like when you take SJ6, the stamina bar jumps down with the extra that you've been given. You could in that instant, you could just like see, okay, well, how much more stamina was it, and just like work it out based on the size of the bar. Maybe it's not exact. I don't really like it doing that way, but you could get a rough estimate.
You do percentages.
So I started doing that last night, and then I was like, I just need to end the stream because I'm going to be here for an hour doing mathematics.
Yeah. What level?
Yeah. Other than that, no, I'm good.
What level do you need to be to buy Trimadol off the flea market? Do you know? 30? 35? What level are you?
Good question. I think I'm level 33. I don't think I'm level 35 yet.
Okay, so maybe it's level 25 or 30. I haven't looked.
I can tell you. It is level 30.
Okay. I guess that's the next milestone. And start popping Sims or something.
You can buy pretty much all the guns that are able to be bought on the fleet at 25, and then all the stims are 30 usually. What about
Okay.
Mule? Mule is 40.
Yeah, I think there's a couple.
ATG is 40.
I hate this system. But anyways, not here nor there. But yeah.
Go to Icebreaker. You'll find me in no time.
Yeah, I need to. It's just that's what my brain's
Dim
telling
City.
me to do. It's just I just don't feel like doing all the work. Like gathering the money isn't too bad. You know, it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot of work.
because I tend to operate on less than $1 million nowadays. I just buy whatever I want, spend the money whenever I have it. But then once I get the
just
money,
like, why is this?
then
People
I
just said like, why is Icebreaker the answer to everything? I'm like, it's not. It's just gear. And
well,
they're
it's
like,
like
yeah,
I
and
want to do the
XP. I'm
cord
like,
prep.
okay.
I
Like,
gotta
what
do,
about an ammo? I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah. Well, it's like I gotta do the seasonal quest. I gotta turn in Black Division rigs. I think it is. It's like okay, I could like roll streets 10 times and hope I survive. You know, the times that I do encounter them and get out with all the gear and walk to the opposite side of the map weighing 70 kilos. Like I could do that, or I could just go on Icebreaker and play PVE. But then it's like. Like it's like I have to go to Shoreline and then do it's just like it's just like the amount of like effort that's being asked from me for this stupid seasonal task. I don't even know what the rewards are necessarily. Like I know you get like a thick case and stuff, but like I want to unlock the cool guns permanently to buy from traders. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's and I don't even know what I have to do to get that. And it's just I don't know. I don't know if I can be bothered, especially right now with Wardogs on the horizon. So we'll see.
Once you got main menu access, it's a lot easier.
I didn't even get that last like in PvP. I didn't even get that.
Yeah, it is quite hard. I've got to the point where I can now get main menu access, but I have to like go back and do the stuff for the BTR guy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's just a grind, so we'll see if I feel like doing it. But until then, as always, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.
Catch you later.